Salute, family. We are in the building. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Salute, salute. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are checking in from. Salute to the family. Let's go. Get on in here, family. Smash that like button. Get on in here. It's time for us to cook up. Salute to the family. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button. Salute, salute, salute. Ladies and gentlemen. Salute to the family. Salute to the family. We got Glam Goddess coming in with the $10 super chat. Didn't say nothing, just showing love as usual. Salute to you, Glam Goddess. I appreciate that love. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, supporting the work. You are the real MVP. Salute to Ayana. Salute to my channel members. Salute to Quan11. Salute to Alexis coming on in, checking in. Salute to the family. You said, I need to cook up Kwame Brown. Absolutely. He's in the hit list. Yes, I got you. Don't worry, Quan. Don't worry, I got you. Kwame Brown is on the hit list. Best believe that. I see that sucking and jiving that Kwame Brown is doing. I see what he doing. I got him. But salute to the family. Salute to the chat. Guys, we got a discussion. A discussion has to be had on this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed y'all holidays yesterday on the 4th of July. I hope y'all didn't eat too much barbecue. I hope you guys didn't eat too much barbecue and got full on me today. But guys, we got to discuss this white on white violence that's happening in this country that's running rapid, right? We got to discuss this crime that's going on in the white community that they refuse to talk about, right? Because if you look at, the white mainstream media and you look at white content creators, it's like they just sitting around waiting on something to happen in Chicago when it's so much degenerate behavior that's going on in their community that they refuse to talk about. But don't worry, I got you. I told you, I will bring the white victims to the forefront. I will give them the light of day that they need, because I know y'all not gonna talk about this. Y'all too focused on Chicago, Memphis, and Philly, wherever the black crime at. That's what the white mainstream media and these white content creators, that's what they focusing on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they focusing on. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button. So guys, I don't know if you heard the news, this story that's going around on social media. A bunch of white nationalists, right? The white supremacist group stormed the Capitol, right? They was marching down there in Washington, D.C. as usual, right? Covering their face with white masks. What you guys are looking at this visual right here is the new Klansmen. This is basically the modern day Klansmen. They walking around with a bunch of sheets over their face, a bunch of low IQ incel white men that feel so insecure that they're losing in this country, guys. This what you are witnessing right now. The whining crybaby white man, right? That he actually is benefiting from white supremacists and white privilege, but somehow he feel like he's the victim in this country. So let's get into this video and see what the modern day Klansman, was doing down there in Washington, D.C. Let's get it.
Every single one of you justifies the fucking right to abortion. You stand up fucking taller. You fucking pathetic pieces of fucking shit. Fuck you, scum.
So you guys see well over, we can say, hundreds of white men, right? And I don't respect this type of white supremacy right here, because why y'all hiding y'all face? Why y'all can't stand on business about being racist? Why y'all hiding? Why y'all covering y'all face? You know why they covering their face, family? Because these are your politicians. These are your police officers. These your doctors. These your lawyers. These your chief of police. These your educators. These are the people that walks among us every single day, but they cover their face and they come out here and they attend these white nationalist groups. Salute to the family. So it looked like one of them right here is throwing up. It looked like one of them is throwing them. It looked like this dude right here pissed his pants, by the way. Look, cowardice. Pants wet as hell. Look like he pissed his pants. So they covering him up because he had to open up his, take off his mask so he can throw up. I don't know what's wrong with him. He probably nervous. He's a coward. I guess he was pressured to go out here and attend this march. I don't know. What is this about? White men are the most privileged people in this country, but these are the most crybabiest men in this damn country. They cry about everything. They want to be the biggest victims in this country, but they too coward to stand on their racism, so they are going to hide their faces with pillowcases.
Yeah, that way they don't have to keep them. About black men, I ain't got no brain, I never been in jail.
These dudes right here, man. You telling me all the shit that they could be marching about. They out here about to pass out, look like they're pissing on themselves. They got police escorting them. They got police protection.
Is there a list of
these people got the police protecting them, by the way. They got police escorts. They got police protecting them. This is a hate group, right? What you guys are looking at. The police is protecting them. And I guarantee, and these are hundreds of white men. You think these ain't police officers, politicians, governors, senators, your doctors, your teachers? You think they ain't out here marching with this mask on their face about to fall out?
Group say something? What was the correct answer?
Salute, family. Salute. Smash that like button, family. I'm trying to see, like, what is this for? How can you
He's saying, give it a minute. Get another card from Sam. It's right there. Here, who needs a card? Right there.
Bro, these dudes can't even walk through the thing. Like, look at these losers, bro. These are a bunch of losers right here. Like, be serious.
Easy, hold it down. Hold it all the way down. Press it against the platform.
I want to know what was the requirements to join this group right here. Just be an incel, loser, virgin, white dude that's homosexual.
How are y'all doing?
Family, just look at this, dude. Like, this is hilarious.
I apologize for that, man. I'll pass nice and late. Hey, you need another car. Get Sandy. I tried.
Thomas, how many Metro
These are your
cards did y'all buy
victims,
today?
ladies and
As
gentlemen.
many as we needed.
These are the
and a
victims.
few extras.
How many is that?
A lot.
Trying not to have a repeat of last time
What do you mean?
with the gate incident.
What are you talking about?
Didn't y'all have a little bit of a problem with one of the Metro Transit police?
Not in DC.
Okay.
I think there was one time in January where a guy was stopped, but we just gave him an extra card. It didn't work.
Yeah.
That's not really a big deal. That didn't result in anything.
Can I get a numbers estimate for today?
I think it's
These are your typical Gen Z white males right here, ladies and gentlemen. Family, this is your typical Gen Z white males. The whining white male, right? They can't figure it out. They don't want to work. The white privilege is not working out for them. The white supremacist is not paying out, in the way that they thought, because the elite white racist people in this country, they don't throw a lifeline down to these degenerate white males like this. They don't throw down the ladder. They don't pull them up. So I'm confused at what are they marching about? Like, what? What are y'all complaining about? This is funny to me. But if you so racist, because this is the leader right here, this guy that's talking right here. If you guys are so racist, why are y'all covering y'all face? What are you hiding for? So you want to join your hate group and then comes amongst us and be our doctors, our teachers, our police officers? Because I guarantee you, probably 60 to 70% of their group is police officers. I guarantee you.
4th of July. We're 4 days into July, and it's almost 10. You want any more numbers? Oh, 250 years, 1776.
What's the point today?
What's the point?
Yo,
National independence.
national independence.
Representation of the nation's cause and our people's interests. Patriotfront.us. I already gave a speech. You'll see it.
Look at these guys. Bro. Like, this is, see, I blame this on the white women. See, this is the white women. Y'all got to sleep with these dudes. Y'all got to give these dudes some box. See, these dudes don't get no box. The white women is running away from them. The white women don't want to procreate. The white women don't want to build a family with these guys. These are a bunch of incels. All they want to do is just be around a bunch of white men, cry and complain about how they're a victim and they're poor and they're broke, and they not getting a leg up in this country, and they want to blame black people for all their problems. They want to storm the Capitol. Because let me show you guys something, family. Because it doesn't make sense to me. This what they are doing right now, I just do not understand it. Because if you guys look at this right here, right? White men make up roughly 62% of elected officials in the United States, despite being only 30%, right? Of the general populations. White men account for 44 out of 45 individuals who have served as U.S. president. Okay? Congress, House of Senate combined, white men hold about 56% of all congressional seats. 56%, by the way. House of Representatives, white men make up roughly 58% of House members. Okay? Senators, white men around 70% of U.S. Senate. Governors, white men make up 92% of U.S. state governors. 92% of U.S. state governors. Mayors, white men hold about 68%, about 60%. And all politicians, elected officials, white men hold around 62%, ladies and gentlemen. And you got hundreds of white men out here crying, marching, about to fall out, pissing all over their damn self because they want to scream about being a victim in this country. This is ridiculous. Salute to the chat. Salute to the family. Exactly, Tory. Domestic terrorism. That's what these people are.
In the face! Get the door! Close the door! Let's go!
These. Oh, this is literally comical to me. Family, this is funny. This is so funny.
Next one, go!
True meaning, we gonna get into that. True meaning said, who are those cross-eyed people on the thumbnail? We gonna get into that story, right? But I wanted to cover this because I see, these people have hit mainstream media. And, I just feel like it's very important that we highlight these individuals. But we're going to get to the Hills Have Eyes people very soon. Salute to the chat.
Tired shit.
What is this? Patriot.
I bet if we asked them to do 10 push-ups, most of them couldn't even do 10 push-ups right now. And I bet, and I guarantee you, family, it's some Asians, it's some Latinos, and some immigrants in this group with these white supremacists. I guarantee you, it's some Asians, some Latinos, and different other immigrants in this group. It ain't just white men.
Eldridge Jerry, Vice President of the United States and signer of the Declaration. Let this man off the train.
Bro, these dudes are laughable. These are the weakest men in our country, family. Cowards. They can't even stand on business and expose their true identity. They gotta hide behind masks.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Hide behind masks.
Jeff Bezos owns Washington Post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who owns Reuters?
So I don't need to contact you.
Medic? Anybody need a medic?
You could just little. You already got the water.
Okay, you need ice?
Okay. Show some respect. Show some respect.
The police they got police escorts, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The police is escorting them, by the way. They on their side. They just standing there, allowing them to do whatever they want to do, storm the streets, storm the Capitol, whatever they want to do. Yes, teachers. These are your teachers, your politicians, your educators, your chief of police, your congressmen, your senators, your doctors. All of them is in this group right here. All of them. These people work among us. They live among us, right? They care for black people when they go to the hospital. They teach your black children. They police your neighborhoods. But they come together and put a white pillowcase over their head and march the streets because they want to be victims.
Take one. Take a home. Take a home. Take a home.
for the people coming up. That's the rest of the eye off the park. Get out of the way. Let's go. Get off.
These people got shields in their hand. Ain't nobody even. And these people are so irrelevant, family. They got shields like somebody finna do something to them. Ain't nobody threw nothing at them. Ain't nobody said nothing to them. Ain't nobody paying them no attention. Everybody just minding their business. This march right here was a total failure. These people wanted some attention so much, right? They got the attention that they wanted because the news media cover it. This is just like the people in the white-only community out there in Arkansas, right? They wanted everybody to know that they wanted a white-only community. Now they struggling, begging the government to assist them with paying for the land that they got out there in Arkansas, basically. Ain't nobody even worried about them. These dudes. Salute, Myron. Salute, family. Smash that like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Let's get the likes up. Look at these cowards. Yeah. These are your police officers. Look at them. Look at them running. Look at these cowards. Look at these dudes. Now they finna get in their minivans and go home. Family, I just had to show you guys this because I just felt like this was like so hilarious to me because they could be marching for so many issues that's going on in their community with crime, incest, abuse, their children, their women, but they just marching in 100-degree weather with a pillowcase on their face trying to tell us how oppressed the white man is. You can't make this up, fam. You cannot make this up, right? But salute to the family, salute to the chat. I want to cover this story about this white police officer that got fired because of his racist texts that got exposed. And these are the type of white men that you guys just witnessed in that march that we just seen. Your police officer, your chief, your Congress, your senators, your doctors. These white men that live amongst us that we go see at the doctor's office. That's them. It was over 400 white men marching the street, and they didn't even get the attention that they thought they was going to get. They didn't. There's so much issues that's going on in their community. They not going to march for that little girl that got unalived by that FedEx driver. That white man that unalived that 7-year-old girl, no marching for her. That 18-year-old white boy that unalived those 2 white men at the library, the mass shooter, no smoke for them. No smoke. Salute to Quan for the $2 super chat. Black cops look stupid protecting these cowards. Exactly. They want to fit in so bad. A lot of them are a bunch of coons too, by the way. Let's get into this story, family.
This man used to be a lead investigator for the Massachusetts State Police, but he's now been fired, and many of the cases he led over the last 20 years could be re-examined because of some text messages he sent from his private phone that have now been revealed. And I'm not a lawyer, but child, this is one of the cases we should all be paying attention to because in about 5 to 10 years, this one is definitely going to be a documentary on somebody's streaming service. So tap in and let me fill you in on the recap. Okay, so to tell you the story, I first need to tell you about this man. His name is Miles King, and according to prosecutors, on July 10th, 2021, surveillance video captured Miles leaving a barbershop around 5:15 p.m. in the Boston area. Miles got picked up in a black Mercedes, and then additional surveillance cameras are able to track the route that he and the car took. According to the video, around 6:02 p.m., the Mercedes is seen making a right turn on a street called Belvoir Road. And then 20 seconds later, another man, whose name is Marquise Simmons, is also seen turning down that same road. Now, Marquise was riding a scooter and he had just left his friend's house. But what's important to know about these 2 men is that they both worked in the music industry, and according to some reporting, 2 years prior to this date, Miles King was arrested after police found him sitting outside of Marquise's house in a stolen car with a loaded firearm. So back to July 10th, after they both have turned down this road, according to video surveillance footage and some witness statements, a black male wearing a hoodie and appearing to be reaching for something in his pants is seen running across the parking lot of a school around 6:06 p.m. And then 1 minute later at 6:07 p.m., that same man is seen running away from that school. And then a black Mercedes is seen speeding away from the area. Now, seconds after the Mercedes speeds away, multiple 911 calls start coming in to report that a man had been shot on Belvoir Road and is laying on the ground. When officers arrive on the scene, Marquis Simmons, who had been shot in the left shoulder, was struggling to remain conscious, but before he passed out, law enforcement asks him who shot him, and according to officers, he replied, quote, Mizzy Cash. Marquis's mother, who was also on the scene because the shooting happened right in front of her house, told officers that she heard her son say, quote, he said he was going to do it. He said he was going to do it. Marquis was transported to the hospital, but despite doctors' best efforts, around 10 p.m. that night, 25-year-old Marquis Simmons succumbs to his injuries and is pronounced dead. Now, the lead investigator assigned to this case is Michael Proctor. And based on their surveillance footage, Marquis's alleged last words, Proctor...
Don't this guy just look like a skinhead family? He just looked like a skinhead. He looked like he was one of those white men that were just marching in Washington.
And based on their surveillance footage, Marquis's alleged last words, Proctor identifying that Miles King's nickname, or the name he goes by as a rapper, is Mizzy Cash, and that black Mercedes being identified as Miles King's girlfriend's vehicle, Michael Proctor ultimately concludes that 21-year-old Miles King is responsible for the murder of Marquis Simmons, and so Miles is arrested and charged, and when he requests bond, it gets denied. Now, Miles King happens to get this woman as his attorney, and her name is Rosemary Scapaccio. And if you've seen the docuseries on Netflix called Trial 4, she may be familiar to you because she was in that documentary, and she's responsible for getting this man, who spent 22 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, exonerated. She's basically a badass, and you should definitely watch the documentary if you haven't yet. So, Rosemary comes on board, and she repeatedly requests the discovery from Miles's case so that they can prepare for trial. But 4 years passes, and prosecutors are still taking their time to get the discovery over to Rosemary. And it's not until about 5 months before Miles is scheduled to go to trial do prosecutors begin turning over key evidence in the case. And by key, I'm talking about very basic automatic discovery that defendants are entitled to. Things like search warrants, affidavits, lab reports, police reports, etc. And so literally, about 5 months before the trial is scheduled to start, prosecutors turn over pages and pages and pages of discovery that Rosemary had been asking for 4 years. And so Rosemary argues to the judge that getting this much discovery this close to trial does not give her time to prepare. So she asked the judge to delay the trial start date. But because according to her, this delay is on account of the prosecutors, not her or her client, she asked the judge to reconsider giving Miles King a bond. Now, before the judge decides on if he's going to give Miles a bond or not, he decides to have a hearing so that prosecutors can explain themselves why it's taken so long for this very crucial evidence to be turned over. And surprise, surprise, the reason all goes back to lead investigator Michael Proctor. Because as the lead, it was Proctor's job to turn over all of the evidence that led him to believe that Miles King committed this crime. The problem is, he didn't.
Do you remember asking Trooper Proctor for the search warrants that he did in this case?
Yes.
And the affidavit accompanying the search warrants?
Yes.
And did he provide them to you?
What I received was a partial affidavit for search warrant.
Did he provide them to you, yes or no?
Some.
Okay. And so when did you ask Trooper Proctor for the search warrants?
In July or August of 2021 when they were filed for.
Okay. And when did you get all 6 search warrants from Trooper Proctor?
I didn't get all 6 search warrants.
You did not?
I did not.
Okay. So you got portions of 2 search warrants, and you knew there were 6 search warrants. Is that right?
Yes.
So I guess my question is, how does your system work if you're not getting the discovery that you're asking a police officer for, and you're asked for it, let's just say 5 times? What do? Do you go to the office and you sit down and say, give me these search warrants, I have to turn them over?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Did you do that this case?
Yes.
You go to Trooper Proctor and say, give me the search warrants because I have to turn them over?
Yes.
When did you do that?
Sometime prior to the defendant's arraignment in December of 21.
November of 21, did you say?
December of 21.
December of 21. And you asked him for the 6 search warrants. What did he say?
He will get them to me.
So did you keep any notes of your conversations with Trooper Proctor when you were asking for these 6 search warrants that he didn't give you?
No.
Why not?
It was something that I knew that was outstanding. It was something that I had asked for in written form numerous times. I didn't feel the need to write a note that I asked for it again.
And so after the hearing, the judge rules that due to the massive amount of discovery that has only recently been turned over, it does make sense for the trial to be delayed. And it also makes sense, and everybody agrees, that Miles King should be given a bond. The judge grants Miles King a $10,000 bond, which was paid the same day. And so after 4 years of being incarcerated while waiting for trial, Miles is released and allowed to be out while he continues to wait for trial. Now, while all of that was happening, Rosemary was also working on another Proctor issue. It turns out that Trooper Michael Proctor was the lead investigator in another high-profile Boston case for a woman named Karen Reed. And if you've been following me for a while, you may be familiar with that case. Karen Reed was charged with killing her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, and during Karen's trial, it came out that while Michael Proctor was investigating Karen, he sent some pretty disgraceful text messages about her.
Yep, so these came from me. From all accounts, he didn't do anything wrong. She's a whack job. C-U-N-T.
So don't spell it. You have to. So these are your words, Trooper Proctor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and say them.
Yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. Okay. Number ending in 4146. Question, is that chick a smoke? I respond, EH. I respond again, nutbag, as Chief would say. I also respond with, she's got a leaky balloon knot, leaks poo. Again, unprofessional comments I should not have made, that I'm not proud of.
Trooper Proctor, explain to the jurors what a balloon knot is.
Your essentially, I guess, your rectum area.
Your anus?
This guy's sick.
Yes.
This guy's
That's
sick.
what you were referring to about Miss Reed?
Yes.
You were making fun of her because you believed at that time that it leaked? That's how you were treating Miss Reed? Yes or no?
Yes.
You followed that up with the phrase leaks poo, didn't you?
I did.
Again, another reference to Miss Reed's medical issues and medical conditions, correct?
Correct.
Specifically focused on her anus, correct?
In reference, yes.
Bro, this guy.
Were you aware at the time that you wrote this that Miss Reed had suffered a colectomy surgery, very serious surgery?
I was not, sir, no.
Were you aware that she had had 10 surgeries in 18 months, several years prior? 10.
I was not aware of that.
So, because of the messages discovered in Karen Reed's case, Rosemary Scapaccio and some other defense attorneys begin to wonder if there are also messages about their clients in Michael Proctor's phone.
Proctor called a white woman the C word. What do you think he's calling black and brown people? That's what we're worried about. If the same biases that Trooper Proctor had in the Karen Reed case are bleeding into his other cases, then they become very important to our case.
The problem is the messages and Proctor's phone download were in the possession of the feds, because at one point the feds were looking into the Karen Reed case and determining if they also wanted to pursue it. So as a part of that investigation, they did a full extraction of Proctor's phone. But once the feds decided they were not going to pursue charges, they gave the Karen Reed related messages over to the state prosecutors, with the understanding that after Karen's trial ended, everything they have from Proctor's phone would be destroyed. And so, about 2 weeks after getting Miles King bond, Scapaccio learns that the download from Proctor's phone is about to be deleted. So she and a few other defense attorneys rush to the courthouse, all in an effort to get a judge to stop these records from being deleted.
So we're literally putting out a fire here. And had we not appeared yesterday in court, had we not asked the court to stop them from destroying this information, they would have just sent it back to the feds and it would have got destroyed and we never would have had the opportunity to look through it.
Just imagine all other information that these people be rushing to delete. Right? And you wonder why they held that video of Carmelo Anthony over a year, close to a year and a half. They decided to release a 15-minute video that we can barely even see. Right? And right now, in the case of this guy right here, and you guys finna see what was actually in his phone about black people, which is, you know, we expect this. This is not nothing new. But every time we bring it up, oh, y'all blaming white supremacists, y'all blaming white people. But when they get held accountable, it be crickets.
Of back and forth, but ultimately Rosemary Scapaccio and the other attorneys are successful in their bid to stop the destruction of Proctor. But Scapaccio argues that we, the public, have the right to know what's in these messages, and Proctor should not be protected in this instance.
He's not a victim. He doesn't need protection. No one has threatened him. He says some vulgar, disgusting things that apparently repeatedly from 2014 to 2022.
Word was involved, so I wouldn't rush if you're. In the last week or so, the messages from Proctor's phone have been released. I'm telling you now, they are racist and disgusting and bigoted.
Of course they
and
are.
Infuriating.
Of course.
And I'm about to read some. For example, in one message in Proctor's phone, after telling one of his fellow officers about a car accident, Proctor followed up by saying, quote, "Actually, take your time. I saw a N-word was involved, so I wouldn't rush if you're working. Let them die."
Wow.
And another.
Wow. Hold on. We got to go back to that one. This guy Proctor said, actually, take your time. I saw a N-word with the hard R was involved. So I wouldn't rush if you're working. Let them die. And you guys think he's just acting on this alone? You think majority of these white men across the country in these police departments think just like this guy right here? When they go to accident scenes or they get a call about, you know, shootings or anything like that, when it comes to a black person and they know that they black, they get the description of the person and they don't even go out to the call. until 2, 3, 4 hours later they show up, and then we got a unalive body on the ground because you got people like Proctor right here that says, actually, take your time. I saw a N-word was involved, so I wouldn't rush. These are the people that's supposed to be protecting and serving us. These are the people, and that's why I want to show you guys that march of those incel, crybaby ass, whining ass white men marching in Washington for what? And I guarantee you 80% of that crowd was police officers, chief of police, detectives, supposed to protect and serve our communities, and this is what they think about us. They want to cry about, and these be the same people that talk about, gangs in Chicago, gangs, Bloods, and Crips. The police department is the biggest gang in this country. The police department is the most corrupt system in this country. This is the biggest gang right here. He told his fellow partner to don't rush because he found out it was a N-word involved. Let them die, family. But we want to talk about black on black crime. When we expose stuff like that, we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and stop complaining. Okay, family, let's keep going.
Let them die. In another message, Proctor texts his friends, quote, literally hate 99% of the people I meet, see, and deal with. Dudes went into Canton High this morning to get a transcript and saw more N-words in 10 minutes than the 4 years I spent there combined. Everywhere I looked, there was monkeys running around. I wanted to ask the woman in the guidance office, where were all the white kids? Where the F did all these nigglets come from? Nigglets? And another message about color.
Wow. Let me go back. Let me read this one. Went into Canton High this morning to get a transcript and saw a bunch of N-words in 10 minutes. Then I seen 4 years I spent there combined, right? We're not black people. We're not citizens, right? We're N-words. Everywhere I look, there was monkeys running around. Wanted to ask the woman in the guidance office where all the white kids, where the F did all the nigglets come from? This is a police officer, a detective, a lead detective, right? Calling young black children in a high school nigglets, calling them the N-words, saying that with all these monkeys running around, he said, I wanted to go to the woman in the guidance office to ask her where the white kids at. Because he don't respect black life. He don't care about black children. Again, I asked white America, should this what you should be focusing on, people like this? Do people like this matter? Y'all don't care, right? Chicago. Black on black crime. All the Sambos out here. I guarantee you, you're not going to cover this story. And we just getting started, family. Wait until the story that I play you after this.
Nigglets come from. Nigglets. And another message about college football. Proctor texts, quote, you noticed that N-words headband from A&M? It said something like, cash me out. Would have been nice if they were still our slaves. Then I wouldn't have to go pick up Bertucci's. Hey, N-word, go fetch Bear his wings and pizza. For context, Proctor's nickname is Bear, so in that message, he's referring to himself in third person, I guess. In another message, Proctor said, quote, America sucks. Hitler was really onto something. Then the effing...
I don't want us to move so fast. I want to break down these messages, right? Because I just have to show white America why they so focused on us, because we are not bothering them. This is a representation of your community. Because y'all like to say that gang culture is black culture, you know, hip hop is all these things that y'all want to attach to us that's negative. But once y'all get exposed, right? Once the magnified glass is on your community, it's crickets. This guy said, discussing a college football game, you notice that N-words, these people are so obsessed with this N-word, bro. Like, I can't do nothing but laugh because these white men are some of the weakest crybaby ass, pussyfied ass men in this country. and they feel inferior to black men. They feel inferior to black people. I'm telling you guys, they feel inferior to us. That's why when they wake up in the morning, we are on their mind. This guy said, you notice the N-word headband from A&M. Would it have been nice if they were still our slaves? Then I would have to pick up, you know what? Hey, N-word, go fetch Bear his wings and pizza. Police department.
To himself in third person, I guess. In another message, Proctor said, quote, America sucks. Hitler was really onto something. Then the effing U.S. had to step in and ruin it. In another message, Proctor said, quote, Detroit should be destroyed along with places like Flint, Michigan. They are breeding grounds for N-words to run wild.
Wow. Detroit should be destroyed along with places like Flint, Michigan. They are breeding grounds for N-words to run around. This is a person, again, family, that put on a badge, go into our communities and think like this about us. Walk into our high schools, calling our children monkeys. N-word. This is in his phone. And they tried to delete this before their attorney, end up requesting to get his text message. Because the feds tried to delete this. And every time we bring up that black people don't have a fair shot, Carmelo Anthony didn't have a fair shot in this trial, they look at us like we crazy. When we seen that all-white juror, the white judge, white DA, white prosecutor, you think they not having conversations like this, family? You think the police and the district attorney and the prosecutor down there in Collin County not having conversations like that? You think that all white jury on Carmelo Anthony case don't have these same thoughts when they look at a black child? This guy's N-word this. He went to a college ground, right? Black kids got a headband on, Texas A&M headband on. He called him an N-word. Said that we need to make these people our slaves. So you got to ask the question, family. How did they look at Carmelo Anthony during his trial? You think they seen Carmelo as a victim? As a young black kid trying to defend himself? Absolutely not. This is what they thought about Carmelo Anthony when they gave him that all-white juror and that white DA and that white prosecutor and Judge Roach. The fix was in. See, they tried to delete these text messages, but the attorney stood on business and hurry up and grabbed them. Now he's exposed now, right along with the rest of his co-workers. And I don't want to hear nothing from this police department talking about this doesn't define us. This is not what we represent. This is not. No, this is exactly what y'all represent. You think the chief of police don't have this same mindset? 80% of white men that's on that police department don't hold that same sentiment. He's texting other police officers. This is how they talking, family. This is a conversation they having right now. These demons.
In another message, he says, quote, it should be punch a N-word day in Canton today out of retribution. My God. Any shine you see, blasted in the face. There's another message. He says, quote,
I just want to, it said it should be punch a N-word day in Canton. Any shine you see, blasted in the face.
Blasted in the face. There's another message. He says, quote, I haven't shot anyone, but I did pull an N-word over today for tossing a cigarette out the window. The next message in the motion says, quote,
this dude right here so petty. This dude despises black people so much. This dude is literally gloating in his text message talking about I haven't shot anyone, but I did pull an N-word over today for tossing a cigarette out the window. And you guys wonder, when you get pulled over for no reason, right? Because people always say, black people don't get pulled over just by being black. And this guy just showing you that I pulled an N-word over for tossing a cigarette, some petty ass shit. I haven't shot anyone. He's trigger figure inching. He's bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty. Salute to Ball for the $5 super chat. Did you see the Pooh Shiesty Gucci video, bro? This why blacks gotta start treating each other better. Yeah, I saw that shit, bro. I'm very disappointed at Pooh Shiesty, bro. He from my hometown, Memphis. We from the same neighborhood. I'm very disappointed in Pooh Shiesty. I seen it. Pooh Shiesty have got himself up out of Memphis, which is a hard place to, come up out of. He's successful, young black man, generated wealth for himself, took care of his mama, bought his mama $1 million home, bought his father a home. Now he finna go to jail for the rest of his life because of stupid actions like that. Yeah, bro, I saw that. I'm very disappointed in Pooh Shiesty for that.
The next message in the motion says, quote, eat a Ghana. Let's enslave those N-words. My car needs a cleaning. In other messages, Proctor joked about tying a black person to the back of his car and dragging them through the streets.
Wow.
And then in another one, he said, quote, if you see a black person, just kill it. The messages and Proctor—
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hold on. We can't just skate past this now. This is serious, family. But they don't talk about this. The Sambo class don't talk about this. White mainstream media don't talk about this. The white content creators don't talk about this. This guy said, I was planning on trying a N-word up, tying a N-word up and dragging him from my bumper through the streets of Randolph. You see a N-word, just unalive it. He's out here targeting black people, innocent black people that they cry about, that they so afraid of, that black people is 30 times more likely to do something to a white person. These people are out here targeting us. But when we bring this up, we trying to pull out the race card. Y'all trying to make everything racial. Y'all made the Carmelo Anthony case about race after his father came online and called Carmelo Anthony a watermelon felon. But we made this about race. Jeff Metcalf calling a black person an N-word, but we made this about race. And I guarantee you, the Sambo class ain't going to cover this story. They ain't going to talk. Fox News ain't going to talk about this. They ignore stuff like this. They think that this is a one-off situation. No, this is majority of the white men that's on the police department. This guy is having a full-blown conversation in his phone to other people about, I'm planning on tying up a N-word and dragging him from my bumper. But black people cry about racism too much. We cry about race too much. You see a N-word, just unalive it. But black on black crime, Chicago, Crips and Bloods. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. We 200 strong in the building. I'm so happy to host you guys on this evening. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Salute to my channel members. Become a channel member. Support the work that we got going on over here, family. I'm so happy to host you guys on this evening. Let's get back into this work, family. Smash that like button.
One, he said, quote, if you see a black person, just kill it. The messages in Proctor's phone also show him on more than one occasion discussing, quote, planting coke on people, as well as shoving a nightstick up someone's behind. He talked about using black people as dartboards. He said, quote, fight.
Okay, we got to break this down, family. We got to. I just got to harper on this. Proctor also wasn't shy about his. This guy, Proctor, right, said that he discussed planting coke on people. And you wonder why black people represent 54% of exonerations in this country, right? Falsely accused over police because of police officers like Proctor. They overly police our neighborhoods. They plant drugs on us, pull us over for no reason, put false charges on us, and incarcerate us. And then they want to scream about 1350. How you think that 1350 even exists? Because of police officers like Proctor that's bloodthirsty, that's looking to throw innocent black people in jail by planting coke on them, family. No, Monica, ain't no trolls in here today. Ain't no they're not coming in here today. They're not coming in here today. I told you, it's going to be hard for them to stick around this type of platform because white America is going to get held accountable over here. We speak truth to power over here. We represent black excellence over here. Productive black people. High class black people. We are not victims. We're not. We know that we better than y'all. But the way they try to paint us in the public view, this is the reason why we build platforms like this. This is the reason why black media is important, so that we can get the word out and we can expose these people, because they refuse to talk about this. If we continue to allow them to lie and create narratives about us and just lump in crimes when it comes to black people, knowing goddamn well that black people is out here thriving and handling business, but you let them tell it, oh, we just criminals. We cry about racism. Pull yourself up by the bootstrap. The white man ain't doing this. White people ain't doing this. But then you got police officers like this talking about planting coke on black people, dragging them by his bumper, going inside high schools, calling our babies monkeys. But Officer Tampon ain't going to talk about this. Mr. Potato Head ain't going to talk about this. Moose in the Face ain't going to talk about this. Pochop ain't going to talk about this. Rock face Megyn Kelly ain't going to talk about this.
Shoving a nightstick up someone's behind. He talked about using black people as dartboards.
Wow.
He said, quote, fight, an N-word and a white. If the white don't win, we all jump in. He also texts hashtag die N-word day. So if you guys see this right here on your screen, it says, I wouldn't rush. I heard a N-word was involved. Michael Proctor. These are his words I'm quoting. We could use them N-words as dartboards. Michael Proctor. But black people the problem? See, we don't wake up thinking about y'all. We don't wake up thinking about how we can undermine white people, how we can target white people, how we can plant drugs on white people, how we can set y'all up, how we can create a system to enslave y'all. See, we don't think like that because we are decent human beings, and y'all know that. But we are revealing, we pulling that mask away from over y'all. I'm telling y'all, our voices are getting louder and louder in mainstream media. They have no choice but to see me. I'm coming. I'm coming for that top spot, and I'm bringing the family right along with me. Y'all gonna get this work. Y'all can keep y'all victimhood card. That's why I said a lot of you white incels that's begging me for debates, let's debate this. Yeah, let's debate this. Because y'all want to be in packs marching in Washington for what? Why are y'all marching in Washington? Nothing is happening to white men in this country. Y'all just lazy and y'all are losers. Y'all don't want to work. Y'all don't want to build. Y'all don't want to create. That white privilege that most of y'all have, you're not taking advantage of it. So when you see black people that's over here on my platform, these wonderful black people that's in my chat room right now, that's productive, y'all mad. So y'all create false narratives around us, just like y'all try to do with our good brother Carmelo Anthony. But Carmelo Anthony was one of our best. They know Carmelo Anthony was one of our best, family. They know this. That's why they got to try to paint Carmelo Anthony to be this gangster, this thug, this criminal. He had this switchblade. He came to attract me and looking to unalive a white boy. And you think the DA and the prosecutor and Judge Roach don't hold this same sentiment as Proctor? You thought they was finna let Carmelo Anthony slide as an innocent young man after he just unalived one of their own. And these people saying, y'all only support Carmelo because he's black. You fucking right, I do. Smash that like button, family. Smash the like button. We cooking this evening. Salute to the family. He also texts hashtag die N-word day. And in his group chat, one of his friends sent this picture.
Look at him, family.
A black child in a cage.
Look at this picture right here, family. These people are so obsessed. You would think Again, I always say this. You guys hear me say this a lot, and I'm going to keep saying this. If these white people have so much black fatigue, why do they got a group chat? This is a group chat that we are reading out of, family. A group chat. They sent this picture of white kids poking fun at this black baby inside this cage. This their entertainment. But they got black fatigue, fam. I thought, what happened to black fatigue? Why are y'all having conversations in a group chat? These are homosexual white men. They have nothing else to do but talk about black people all day. Talk about how they want to target innocent black people, and you wonder why we overly represented and being overly police. You wonder why you get pulled over for no reason, family. And I know for a fact some of y'all got pulled over for, like, why the fuck he pulled me over for? I ain't do shit. Because the police is like Proctor right here. And they try to question you and try to get you riled up so that you can be hostile, so they can have an excuse to plant something on you or jail you or unalive you, so they can say, hey, I fear for my life. Because they got group texts talking about black people all day. This is a mental illness. But of course, I know why y'all talk about us, because we are the supreme being. We're better than you, and you know it. Because your stereotypes are played out. The monkey, the N-word, the black on black crime, the culture, that shit is played out. When you guys see us, you see excellence. You see bravery. Oh my God. Smash that like button, family. We cooking on this evening. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. Salute to my channel members. I appreciate every last single one of y'all that's in the chat right now. Salute to you guys in the building. Let's keep going.
Caption, quote, even 3-year-old niggas are terrible humans. I'll stop there because I'm sure you get the point, but...
Wow, hold on. This guy said even 3-year-old N-words.
His friends sent this picture, which features a black child in a cage, and it was captioned, quote, even 3-year-old niggas are terrible humans.
Even 3-year-old N-words are terrible humans. Is this white culture?
Stop there because I'm sure you get the point, but there are more. And so, as a result of these shocking, outrageous, disgusting, and racist messages that Proctor, who again was a lead investigator charged with fairly investigating crimes and protecting all people in the community regardless of their race and ethnicity, Rosemary Scapaccio filed her motion. She asked the judge, how can anyone trust that Proctor handled his cases without bias, and especially in the case of her black client, Miles King? Because according to Scapaccio, Proctor wasn't just a part of the investigation into Miles King. He was the investigation. He was on the scene the night Marquise was shot. He authored all 6 of the search warrants that took forever to be turned over. He interviewed witnesses, he reviewed surveillance, he coordinated evidence collection, and he testified before the grand jury. And so she questions, how can a man who repeatedly refers to black people as animals, says they should be enslaved, and says they should die, be trusted to have fairly investigated a black defendant? Further in Rosemary's motion, she argues that since these kind of bigotry text messages exist, her and Miles can't be required to figure out the precise ways in which Proctor's racist beliefs affected his investigation, but she does highlight that it is impossible to separate Proctor's racism from the choices that he made in the case. For example, choices like who he believed during the investigation versus who he didn't, or what leads he chose to follow up on versus ones he chose to ignore. More specifically, Rosemary says that the idea that Marquise in his last dying breath said that Mizzy Cash is the one who shot him came from one white officer. Meanwhile, 2 black witnesses who were at the scene said they never heard Marquise say that. And so again, she's highlighting, how can we be sure that Proctor just believed the white person because they were white versus investigating or following up on what the black.
Of course he believed the white person because they white. Just look at the Rick Chow case, family. The Rick Chow case was a perfect example of people like this guy right here. The only person that was a witness in the Rick Chow case was his son, a white Asian male. A white Asian male ran down 130 yards and unalived a black child, because they don't look at our children as human. You see how Proctor is talking about kids when he walk inside a high school. How can you trust somebody like this that's policing our communities? Because he's saying if that's an N-word on the call, take your time, let him die. He go inside a high school, he see black children, he say, hey, we need to enslave these monkeys. We need to have a national killer N-word day. This is what the guy that wakes up every day and put on a badge and call himself a peace officer. Is this white culture?
Black people said. But again, she says she and her client doesn't have to figure out all the precise ways. The messages are so egregious and so bigoted and so disgusting and racist that the entire case should be dismissed. And Rosemary and Miles aren't the only ones with this argument. There are now 19 of Proctor's cases being reviewed because of the messages that have come to light. And the expectation is that there are more to come. Basically, if Michael Proctor touched your case over the course of his career, you may have an argument in having your case dismissed or at the very least having it reviewed. And one more thing, just in case anyone is wondering why messages Proctor sent on his private phone are now open to being considered in these cases, here is attorney Mark Betterow talking with Mark Inton. Here's a clip of attorney Mark Betterow speaking about the impact that these messages could have on people's cases. And he's speaking with Mark Inton in the clip.
Yeah, and no one would want their text leaked. Just, I mean, everybody would be embarrassed of some things, and they are private, but like this is sort of next level,
Well, this is next level, but these are not also private in a legal context for the simple reason that the prosecutors in Norfolk County had strong reason, a good faith reason to believe that Michael Proctor had engaged in these kinds of conversations based on what was previously released. Lawyers then started demanding exculpatory evidence that would relate to his credibility, requiring the prosecutor to look into this and disclose any evidence that is in there, what lawyers call possession, custody, or control of the prosecution. And somebody like Proctor can't simply hide evidence that is relevant and material to the defense and that the prosecution is aware of must be disclosed simply because he says, well, I'm on my private phone. It doesn't work that way. He is a public servant, literally. He certainly has some degree of privacy rights, but you don't have a right as a police officer to do your dirty business and just transition to a private phone when the prosecutor has reason to believe that your private phone has relevant evidence that they are obligated under the due process clause, to disclose to the defense. So his privacy argument doesn't hold any water, legally speaking, whatsoever.
Okay, so today is June 30th, 2026, and as of today, a decision has not been made on if Miles King's case will be dismissed, and it's probably going to be a while before we get an answer.
Of course.
Oh, and while Miles King was out on bail back in May of 2026, he and some others got picked up by the feds on firearm and drug charges.
And yeah, somebody, Sugar Mama said Carmelo Anthony need that white woman as his attorney. Yeah, she put belt to ass in the courtroom. Like she fought hard to get those text messages, right? Because the feds tried to delete it. It took them over, I want to say 4 or 5 years to get transcripts and evidence because Proctor was a leading detective in his gentleman case, and he was hiding evidence. They was taking their time trying to get her transcripts, and this white woman right here, come to find out, he was talking shit about her, calling her names, talking about her vagina and different things like that, and that opened up the case to go through his text messages, and come to find out, boom. N-word this, I want to unalive an N-word, I want to plant coke up on an N-word, I want to do this to black kids, we need to bring back killer N-word day. A leading detective, a guy that wake up every day and put on a badge and come antagonize our community. But if you let the Sambos tell it, racism doesn't exist. It's just a word. Y'all gotta stop blaming the white man for everything. This is the prime example right here. This is the example that they fail to realize. This is the example that they do not want to talk about. I guarantee you, Megyn Kelly, rock face ass, is not going to cover this story. Because people like Megyn Kelly in the white mainstream media, they run away from cases like this because everything got to be black people's fault. It has to be our fault. They sit around and they wait on the story of a black person doing something. Say, hey, there we got it. Black on black crime, black fatigue. But when they see a white man targeting black people, right, in a group chat full of other police officers saying a bunch of racial shit, talking about they not going to a call if it's an N-word, let the N-word unalive. Just think about how many black people done lost their lives because Proctor didn't show up on time. When he found out the description of the person was black, he told the rest of the police officers, don't show up. Don't show up. And if you think I'm making it up, just read this one. Right? It said after telling Goody about a multi-car incident. This is a car incident. Michael Proctor said, actually take your time. He's telling another police officer this. I saw a N-word was involved. So he saw the incident. He probably somewhere in the cut just looking at the incident. So I wouldn't rush if you're working. Let them die. So what are we supposed to do with demons like this, animals like this? And you guys see why I don't play around with these people. I don't play no games. It's belt to ass every fucking time. When it comes to my people, I don't play no games. Like, we don't care nothing about your stereotypes. All this shit that you're trying to make up about us, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The mask is going to continue to slip off from these degenerate white men. Y'all seen her marching around Washington for what? The white men. Matter of fact, let me play this clip. I got something even better. Let's play this, right? Let's play this clip, family.
On here who love to talk about black and brown predators or the dangers of undocumented folks. Can you please explain why nearly 80% of the people who produce, distribute, or possess child SA material are white men, and almost all of them are U.S. citizens? And by the way, you can check that data for yourself. So you see this? This is the U.S. Sentencing Commission's interactive data analyzer, which is a nifty little tool that lets you look up stats on any federal crime category overall, and then you can break it down by race. And then you can calculate the percentage of that crime done by each racial group for every year going all the way back to 2015, or you can do it for a range of years. So I did that for child SA material prosecutions from 2015 all the way through 2025. And it turns out that 78% of those prosecutions were of white men.
So 78% of white men that's hurting children, and they only 29% of the population in this country, and they represent 76% of hurting their own children. But they marching around Washington for what? And their children in their community are in danger from men that look like them. 29% of the population represents 76% of hurting children. But they walking around Washington with masks on their face because they so oppressed. They the new victims.
Almost 8 out of 10, while only 6% were of black men. You know that group that y'all racists say is the most dangerous and awful group out there?
6% is black men. It should be 0, right?
So what the hell is it about white men that explains this? I mean, after all, for other crimes, everybody's got a theory to explain it, right? For typical street-level violent or property crimes, both the left and the right have theories. We on the left say socioeconomic factors can explain them. The right says it's culture, maybe even biology. But my point is, everybody has a theory. And yet, when it's white dudes that predominate disproportionately in some category of misdeeds like child SA material or child sexual exploitation, also about 71% of those are white folks, according to a DOJ report released in January of this year, or spree killing or mass school shooting, suddenly nobody has an analysis at all. Apparently, we just treat that shit like some inexplicable individual pathology, or we write it off to mental illness or video games or some shit. We never blame it on white culture. We never blame it on whiteness. We never blame it on white DNA. DNA. We never ask what's wrong with the white family. We do that about the black family all the time. We say, where are the black dads? We never ask where the white dads are. What's wrong with white fathers? Well, apparently some of the white dads and some of the white uncles are online looking at the child essay material. That's the problem. If we were actually a country that cared about actual predators, particularly the ones who threaten children, if we were actually worried about danger, we'd be asking this question about why white people and white men in particular are so predominant in this category of dangerous criminal offending. But we're not that country. We just want to racialize danger and crime. We don't actually want to protect people from harm.
Exactly. Shout out to this brother right here. Shout out to this gentleman spitting straight facts. They ready to say something about black fathers, black family, the black household. Where's the black nuclear family? Charlie Kirk, before he actually overdosed, he started talking about gun violence. But they never talk about what's going on in their community. It's always black on black crime. It's always Chicago. It's always black men this, black fathers this. But when we look at the statistics, we're like, hold on. Y'all are hundreds of white men are marching in Washington with pillowcases on their face that they jack off on every day, crying about being a victim because they lazy, they poor, they don't want to put in the work. They just think somebody's supposed to just elevate them in this economy, in this society, in this country because they white. And the elite white racist people do not throw these people a lifeline. They don't give a damn about your Jake Lang. They don't give a damn about your Chud the Builders. They don't care nothing about that. They laugh at y'all. Y'all are the laughing stock. But when you see the children that's getting harmed in your community, the women that's getting harmed in your community, y'all don't march for that. Where is the march for that 17-year-old white girl that got unalived by that FedEx driver? No, none of the men marched for that dear baby. That baby didn't deserve that. But I have to highlight these cases because y'all not going to talk about it. Y'all sitting around waiting on a black degenerate video to pop up on your time feed. All the criminals and the violent things that goes on in white America that they are refusing to talk about, there's silence. No march for that. But they want to go to Washington, 400, 500 white incel men with pillowcases on their head crying about they oppressed when the children are being hurt in their community by the people that look just like them. You said, y'all said something about the picture. Yeah, let me show you the picture of this black girl that was sitting on the bus when those white supremacists was walking past her. This the picture you talking about. Miss Mel, you talking about this picture right here. I know exactly what you're talking about. You talking about this. This is a black young lady that's sitting on a bus surrounded around a bunch of demons. A bunch of devils, all of them just crowding up around this woman. This looked like a picture in the 1930s, in the 1800s. If this picture was black and white, you would think this was in the 1930s or something. Seriously. But shout out to that sister. And I hope she was, carrying, because y'all got to protect yourselves. I'm telling you, these situations can just happen out the blue. Ain't no telling what them demons could have done to that sister right there, and she by herself sitting on that train, because we know how they get down. We know how they get down. Now, let's get into this sick and evil and demonic community, right? 16 children was found rescued from a house of horror in Hawaii. Family, y'all gotta check this shit out right here.
Most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children.
16 children hidden away in a rural Ohio home. A teenager who, according to investigators, couldn't even spell her own name. And a smell so bad, the Attorney General says he still can't shake it.
It was just a disgusting scene.
And now the adults who were supposed to be caring for these children.
These are the people that was on the thumbnail, family. Right? We know that this community indulged in incest. They're a bunch of sick individuals. They had 16 children in this house living in very disgusting, like it's you can't even explain the way these people was treating those children in their house. But what do you expect? This is white culture. Like I said on the title of this live stream, we don't talk about white crime enough, family. We don't talk about this. But when you look at white people that look like this, what you expect?
Children are behind bars.
This is pure evil. What we saw down here.
Diddy, what I got Diddy on there?
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. You know, just when you think that you've heard it all, another case comes to light that makes you do a double take. And this story out of Ohio, it's one of those cases. It involves 16 children who were living in conditions that were so filthy and so deplorable, according to the sheriff, that most animals live better. In fact, the children had been living in the small home for some time, and the sheriff said neighbors had no idea that children lived there.
Really?
Imagine that. A home with 16 children living in it, and the neighbors had no clue.
I don't believe
it. The county
it.
Prosecutor says one of the kids is
How can your neighbor, family, just imagine your neighbor having you're not going to know that your neighbor got 16 children unless those children don't come outside at all. You don't travel. You don't take the children anywhere. They don't come out the house. They either chained up in the dungeon. How in the hell can you house 16 children? What the fuck? But even if, of course, the neighbor's going to say they probably don't because they indulge in this shit too.
18, an adult, but developmentally, she's a child. She couldn't even spell her own name. And some of the children were in such bad shape that they had to be flown by medical helicopter to a level 1 trauma center. Unbelievable. That's what deputies in Vinton County, Ohio, about 75 miles south of Columbus, found this week. Vinton is a rural county. Fewer than 13,000 people live there. Vinton County Sheriff said that deputies and state agents discovered the children on Tuesday, June 30th, while conducting another investigation. Here's Sheriff Ryan Kane.
All right, today on June 30th, the Vinton County Sheriff's Office, along with the Ohio Bureau of Investigation, executed and is still continuing to investigate Omar Street in Hamden, Ohio. Upon searching the home, evidence of other crimes were discovered. It's currently an ongoing investigation, and my office is still processing the scene and conducting interviews. My message to the community is that there is no outstanding threat. These are serious crimes and allegations that will be investigated fully. Our mission is to protect our citizens and our children. The scene is horrific, and these are horrific allegations. We will do anything in our power to hold those accountable to justice. I want to thank Ohio BCI,
of course,
the Ohio
food
Attorney
stamps. They're the
General's
leading
office for working
demographic
with
on
us in this
food
incident.
stamps.
The Hamden Fire Department, Vinton County EMS,
Welfare babies.
Jackson County EMS, Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the Ohio Department of Watercraft and Parks, Ohio Wildlife for assisting us today.
So the children were discovered because a search warrant was being executed on the home on Omer Street related to another investigation. But the sheriff won't comment on what that investigation involves.
Of course,
I want to stress that our focus right now is on the safety of the children. These kids are being evaluated medically, and we're trying to get them placed, and that is our primary concern right at this point. I also want to stress this is not conduct that is acceptable in Vinton County.
Sure.
These individuals were not from Vinton County. This is not appropriate and certainly is not reflective of the Vinton County values.
They love to say, you know, just like I told you guys earlier about the proctor, like when the police department get busted but for doing something that happened in their county or their police department, they always say, this is not a representation of our county. Yes, it is. How can you not identify? Because he said that these people are not from this county. So you mean to tell me y'all don't know where 16 children is? Like one of the children, one of the kids was 18 years old and she couldn't even spell her name, his or her name. So they not in no school system, no database, but a black child can miss school for 2 weeks. You ready to lock a black mother up? Y'all ready to lock a black parent up if the school, if you miss 3 days from school, y'all come knocking on the door with truancy letters. But 16 children can wind up in one house in a filthy, disgusting living situation. And now all of a sudden, this ain't no representation of y'all county. Yes, it is. Because why ain't nobody checked on these kids? Who do these kids belong to? 16 kids. Is this white culture?
The children were removed from the small house in the village of Hamden. They ranged in age from 1.5 to 18 years old.
1.5 to 18 years old.
Ohio's Attorney General
Oh,
says
my
some of
God.
the children were in really, really bad shape. Here's AG Andy Wilson.
Agents from Ohio BCI participated in the search warrant this morning with deputies from the Benton County Sheriff's Office. And when they went into that residence, 16 children were removed from that residence.
16 kids.
And I've been doing these types of cases for a long time. I spent a big portion of my career dedicated to prosecuting these types of cases. And I can tell you this is pure evil. What we saw down here today is pure evil.
Pure
and
fucking
I
evil.
have to commend the deputies from the Benton County Sheriff's Office and our agents from Ohio BCI and I, who went into really kind of one of the worst environments that I've seen in my career, and were there for those children in their time of need. Those children are currently being treated at hospitals throughout the state. And this is, as you heard, an ongoing investigation.
I'll get into more.
So the kids range from 1.5 all the way up to 18. My question is, what was they doing with those children to keep them hid in that house like that? And from the looks of them, we already know, family. We are very intelligent. We know that this culture indulge in incest. Right? Like they love to say, y'all don't know who y'all father are. The only reason why you know your father is because your father is your uncle. Your sister is your mother. No telling what y'all had them children doing with one another, especially the little girls inside of there. The 18-year-old don't even know how to spell her name. That lets you know everything you needed to know about what was going on in that house and how long they had them kids prison in that house, and what they was doing to the kids or what the kids was doing to each other. And the neighbors talking about they didn't know. I didn't know they had 16 kids. How the hell you don't know 16 people? It's 4 adults, 16 kids, 20 people living in that house, and you didn't even know. Really? Or maybe you was coming over there indulging in something. How about that? Y'all need to investigate those neighbors over there. Because you don't know 20 people live in that house. 20 goddamn people. See, white America, I'm going to help y'all out, right? I'm going to help expose y'all crimes, the things that y'all refuse to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. It seems like I got to do the work for y'all because y'all don't care about victims. Y'all don't care about these white children. Megyn Kelly, y'all don't care about this. The Sambos, Po-Chop, Moose in the Face, Officer Tampon, Mr. Potato Head. Do y'all talk about how much y'all care about white people are victims and all that? I am giving y'all story after story. It's like every live stream I bring up something about y'all culture that y'all refuse to talk about. Do these 16 children deserve to be talked about? These children have lost a huge proportion of their life. Being shacked up in their home, no telling what these sick fucks was doing to these babies. We know how they get down. And when they decided to have that white-only town out there in Arkansas, we already knew what they was trying to do. See, they was trying to get black people mad and angry. We didn't give a fuck because y'all want to go to the woods. We knew what y'all wanted to do. Shit like this.
What law enforcement says they found in the house shortly. 4 adults lived in that house. The
4
parents
adults.
of the children and the grandparents. The parents of some
Parents and grandparents. Parents and grandparents.
The children are believed to be Elizabeth Siders and Gary Siders Jr. The grandparents are believed to be Gary Siders Sr. and Christina Siders. All four face 17 felony counts of child endangering. And more charges could be coming because this is just the beginning. The investigation is continuing.
Death penalty.
The sheriff says the house was beyond filthy.
I've seen livestock live, mostly kept better. As I was saying, most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children.
Wow. Animals living better than those kids. They don't want to talk about that.
Presence, I'm sure, of bacteria,
don't worry.
Human feces.
For the decent white people out there, because I know it's not all y'all, but it's a majority of y'all. For the decent white people, don't worry. I am going to make sure that y'all people be talked about, get covered, because your community refused to talk about this. They don't care about the children that's getting treated like this. They're getting hurt by their own people. But you will still have Sambos blame this on Chicago. You will still have Megyn Kelly and Steven Crowder setting up tables at HBCUs with their red hat on, talking about some debate me, bro. Debate you? How about stop touching your children? How about don't impregnate your sister? How about that? Yeah, debate that. 400 men, white incels, walking around Washington in 100-degree weather, pissing on themselves, but they not marching for these babies. Nobody marched or protested at the trial of that young baby that lost her life to that FedEx driver that did the unthinkable to that child. See, we care about children. We care about babies, whether they white, black, or whatever, because we are decent human beings over here. We are going to highlight situations like this because I know y'all don't care. Y'all sweep shit like this under the rug. That's what I'm saying. Those neighbors over there, I guarantee you, they just closed the blind eye, turned the blind eye to those 20 family. You think you don't know 20 people live beside you? You think you wouldn't recognize if 20 people live beside you in one house? And these are the welfare queens. I seen somebody say in the chat, I bet they on food stamps. Absolutely. These are the true welfare queens and kings.
It was just a disgusting scene.
Can I ask both of you, what did you feel like walking through there? Not necessarily what it looked like or the description, but what was going through your mind?
So,
smash that like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. Smash that like button, family.
Law enforcement have experience with homes in a similar fashion. A large number of people, though, the children were kept in a roughly 12 by 12 area. It seems like it's where they've spent the most of the last 4 years, and that's what it looks like. In a weird way, you're hit with two emotions. There is joy when we realize that we're about to change 16 lives for the better. But you're also, it's hard.
So the kids, the sheriff says, were kept in a 12 by 12 room, and there was feces all over the place. The children were kept in absolute squalor.
Wow.
The attorney general says the children were essentially hidden.
I will tell you this, there isn't much evidence that kids live there. We talked to someone.
Someone said they hump on the dogs too. Yeah, we know they get down with them animals. They love humping on them animals, right? I think it's called bestiality or something like that. They the leading demographic in that, Summer. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. They are the leading demographic of humping on them damn dogs. Sick individuals. But let me guess. Black on black crime in Chicago.
We talked to some of the people from the neighborhood. These people have been here for about 4 years, and we've talked to some people who live in the neighborhood who said, I had no idea.
I don't believe it. Hell no. Let me rewind this. This dude said it's people in the neighborhood that said they didn't know. I didn't know. How the fuck you don't know 20 people stay in one house? Salute to Peterson for the $10 super chat. It's not about the decent Mayo people. Remember, they claim that it's a small percentage of them own slaves, but somehow this shit lasted for over 400 years with so much. Ooh, you are cooking. You right about that. Ultra Cities, you right. You are right. That's a fact. They love bringing it up. Oh, it was a small percentage of people who own slaves. You right. You ain't lying. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This guy said the neighbors didn't even know that these people was housing 16 children.
Live in the neighborhood. He said, I had no idea that kids were.
Nah, that's cap. That's
And
cap.
talking about, somebody asked
I don't believe
about,
it. I don't believe it.
describe the conditions, adding on to what the
You
sheriff
ain't know.
said. I didn't actually go into the room where the kids were. I just looked through the door. That was yesterday. I can still smell it. I can't get the smell. I cannot get the smell off of me or away from me right now. We were just talking about that a little while ago. And then we were talking as a group about some of the evidence we looked at today where they actually discovered the kids and found the kids. And it's not that different than those old commercials you used to see of like kids in Africa, like just where they're covered in bugs and squatting and had that like distant look in their eyes. It's terrible. I mean, it is absolutely.
He said it was bugs and feces. They was in a 12 by 12 room. It was disgusting. He said he can still smell the smell. And they moved in that county about 4 years ago. It's 20 people in the house, and all of a sudden, nobody knew. Nobody knew. Y'all allowed some children to move to this county, and you didn't think like why they didn't register the kids to public school. I'm pretty sure they applied for welfare because I know goddamn well they weren't working a job. So when you apply for welfare, you have to put your dependents down. Did nobody go do a welfare check? But y'all be ready to say something about black parents, about their kids doing something, their kids doing that. Y'all ready to pull up to a black household about something? 4 years, y'all been receiving government assistance. Ain't nobody sent their ass over there to that house. Y'all ready to do a welfare check when black people own government assistance. But they can house 16 kids. The neighbors talking about something. Oh, I didn't even know. What? Them 16 kids? They not just giving no grown motherfucking food stamps like that unless they elderly or they got a disability or something like that. Most of the time when you get government assistance, you got children. Salute to Peterson for the $10 super chat. He said, how could they know? Have you ever seen them pray into each other business like that? Let it be a black family there. They'll have cameras pointing at the house 24/7 with neighbors watching. Exactly. If this was and that's what I'm saying, Peterson. If this was a black family, oh my God. They have been released the pictures. They haven't even released the pictures of how the house look on the inside. But this would have been a black family. I don't know if you guys remember that story that happened in Florida. I want to say it was a Haitian lady. It was a Caribbean lady. She was living in straight filth. And they went in there with the video and showed how she was living. They showed us how that woman was living. But somehow in this case, they don't want to show us how them kids was living in their house. Why? Why they hiding this? But that Caribbean lady down there in Florida, she was living probably the same way these degenerates was living, but they don't want to show the video. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I appreciate that.
And again, we got to make sure the kids are safe. We got to make sure they're placed in good, solid therapeutic placements, and we have to hold accountable the people who are willing to do this to their own family.
The four Siders family members appeared in Vinton County
Look at
court.
these. Look at the granddad face. Look at him. Take a good look at the granddad. He looked like he was born by his brother or somebody. His uncle and his sister done had a kid. Somebody done had, because when you come out looking deformed when siblings have children, like family members have children. You don't come out looking, normal all the time. This man looked like a predator. And this father, supposed to be the father of these kids, they need to do some DNA tests on them children in their house. I guarantee you, some of those children are parents to one another. They siblings and parents at the same time.
On those 17 child endangering charges, the AG says the family has moved around a lot. They've been in Gallia, Jackson, and Pike counties.
Wow.
And
so
even Wisconsin at one point. But they've been in Vinton County for at least the last 4 years. Back in 2021, the Pike County Sheriff posted on Facebook about Gary Siders Jr. The sheriff said he was requesting warrants for Siders Jr. for felony theft and receiving stolen property because items stolen from a construction site had been recovered from the home where he lived. But the children haven't been to school. Law enforcement says there are no medical or school records for them, and they're still looking into all of that.
No medical or school records on the children, but they receive government assistance and they moving around. They don't have no jobs. So most likely they receiving Section 8 voucher, food stamps. So how y'all don't know that they got 16? So when these kids get born, are they having the kids in the house? So they might be having these kids in the house, because they said no records, no medical records on these kids. So they just having these kids in these filthy ass environment. Y'all not finna tell me that if these people was black, bro, like this one, nah, bro. They trafficking these kids.
So I could think of no one better to take a look at this case and analyze it for us than Mark Weaver. He works as a special prosecutor in the state of Ohio, sometimes sits as a judge, and he has worked cases down in the area where this happened. He's also the author of a new book entitled God Bless America, 250 Years Strong. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first, Mark, your reaction.
That's what I said, Sherry. The heels have eyes looking motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. They might got the real heels have eyes look. Like I guarantee you, his mama is his sister. I'm telling you, those children are siblings and parents of one another. Do some DNA tests on them kids. They not just having them kids just sit in a room and just rot to death. No, they doing something to them kids. And I don't even believe that they parents to them kids until they do DNAs. Y'all could be the traffickers. I don't even believe they the parents to them 16 kids.
To this case, I'm shocked by it. Every time
Salute
I think
to Bridget for the $2 super chat. Good content. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Bridget. I appreciate that. Salute to you. You the real MVP. Thank you.
I can't be shocked. I'm shocked because I can't imagine 16 children ranging in age from 1.5 to 18 living in a house and nobody knows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How
You're right.
they feeding
I have
them?
prosecuted cases, not in that county, but in counties surrounding that. This is southern Ohio. This is Appalachia. That doesn't excuse anything. It's just explanatory. Families with that many children in Appalachia is already pretty unusual. You don't see families with 7, 8, 9, 10 or more children typically in Appalachia. And then if you do, you certainly wouldn't see them confined in such a small room or such a small house. This is one of the smallest counties in Ohio, Vinton County, one of the poorest counties in Ohio. It came as no surprise to me that the Vinton County prosecutor is partnering with the Ohio Attorney General office where I used to work as the Deputy Attorney General, because there's many more resources available, both through the state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation, which is the premier unit of investigators in the state, and through the Special Prosecution Section of the Attorney General's office. So normally a small town prosecutor's office like Vinton would have 3 or 4 prosecutors who do felony cases at most. So they're going to need the help of the Attorney General's office to bring this significant case with lots of evidence and lots of troubling details.
Let's break this down a little bit because it's beyond troubling. The entire reason that they discovered this, that the children, and the Attorney General Andy Wilson described this as something like out of a third world country. He described it like those old commercials you'd see, and sometimes you still see them, where you had the starving children in Africa, and you've got the kids with, and you've got these poor starving children, and their eyes, they're staring kind of into the camera, and the
yeah,
fly.
bro, this sad. This is a very sad case, Angie. Like this is sad, and this is why I'm covering this, because I know most of the white content creators don't care nothing about their children being treated like this. We talking about kids from 1.5 all the way up to 18. How is they feeding the baby? How is they getting formula? How is these babies getting their shots? Like, how these babies are just getting born with no medical records, no nothing, and they moving from county to county to county. How y'all even knew that they was moving to all these counties? So I'm assuming y'all obviously have done some background checks on these people. And y'all was going over there for a search warrant, and y'all just randomly found these 16 people in the house, and the neighbors don't know. I don't believe that shit. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat.
Eyes are flying around, that kind of thing. The sheriff said they walk in, there's a 12 by 12 room, and there's feces. And I mean, it sounds, just beyond disgusting what they described. But they were doing a search warrant on another investigation. They were investigating another crime, and they won't say what it was.
Why not?
And they go in and they find a 12 by 12 room, they say, with kids, and one of them they say is near death.
Hold on. Wait a minute. So y'all had a search warrant for a crime that y'all don't want to tell us? What? Okay, what was the crime? Why you don't want to tell us? Is it grape? Is it unaliving? Is it robbery? What is it? What's so we know about all the crimes. Why y'all don't want to tell us? Why are y'all holding back the reason why y'all see how these children was living and what they did to these babies, and y'all trying to defend them? Y'all trying to defend their reputation? But then again, the mayor and the chief of police want to talk about this doesn't represent our county, but you don't want to tell us why y'all was over there to enact a search warrant. Y'all defending these monsters, these animals, really. And then she just said they was finding a child that was almost unalived. Almost. But y'all don't want to tell us why they had a search warrant. Is this white culture?
Yes. I was talking to Attorney General Wilson last week on another matter. I had no idea this would come up, but I'm glad he's there. Andy Wilson is an experienced prosecutor, and he's been appointed as our Attorney General in the interim because the one who was elected resigned to take another job. So he's our short-term Attorney General, but he really is well-suited to handle this case, and I'm glad that he showed it such a high priority. We do need to know more facts. I expect the defense lawyers for these people who've been charged will ask for a bill of particulars, which is a more detailed description of the crimes being alleged. I've read the indictments. They're rather pro forma, meaning they're simply saying the required elements of the statute, child endangerment, which is a second-degree felony in this case. So we're not getting a lot of insight from the records that have been released so far.
Yeah, we're getting nothing. We're getting nothing except it's literally like the bare bones complaint that they gave us. We have no info other than what they've told us. And I think part of that is because they were caught by surprise when they went in there. They're looking for X, and they find A through L or whatever.
Yeah.
They find 16 kids when they go in there, and they're looking for whatever else they were looking for in the first place. And they find feces, a floor falling apart, 16 kids, one or two of them in really bad shape. Now they have to find homes for these 16 kids. And the big question is, Mark, who's the mother of some of these children?
Exactly.
The 18-year-old, they said couldn't even spell her name.
I guarantee you that 18-year-old is probably the mother of some of those children. that 18-year-old young girl is probably the mother of some of those children. I guarantee you. I don't believe that these are the parents or grandparents. I believe that these are their kidnappers. And they was breeding those babies. Because how is they surviving? Who's funding them? They don't have a job. How is they getting funded? Who's paying the bills? I know for a fact they got government assistance, or they running some type of child, you know what, business. Gotta be. This don't even make no sense. Shout out to Bando for the $5 super chat. It's crazy how they trying to bring black people in it by saying they reminded them of African kids. I caught that. They have no defense. We have nothing to do with this. But we ain't African, so I don't care. They can bring up Africa. But I get what you're saying, though. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yeah, they can't stay on topic, though, Bando. They can't stay on topic. They got to bring up Africa and all this. This shit happened here in America. We see plenty of videos and stuff like that these people sit up here and live like this and treat these kids like this. They always got to deflect. Salute to you, Bando, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that.
Been to school, and they said that this 18-year-old, this is so sad. It's so stunning to me. I'm highly doubting that Elizabeth Siders is the mother of this 18-year-old, since she's, I think, 33. And there's no way she had 16 children in that time span. We were just talking about that before we came on here. So where did this child come from? And they're calling her a child. They're charging child endangering because they said basically she can't even spell her name. So basically she's 18, but she developmentally is a child.
Sure. And certainly she was endangered or abused at age 14, 15, 16, 17, all of which would be within the statute, the limitations for a crime like this. Prosecutors are going to have to talk to these kids. It's unclear which ones can give a coherent account of who did what or who didn't provide food or the basic sustenance that every parent or guardian is required to provide a child. So a couple things are going to happen during this investigation, are probably happening right now. Number one, every one of these kids, once their medical needs are attended to, is going to be interviewed to get as much information as they can about this level of abuse or neglect. And then once the prosecutors identify the least culpable, the least responsible adult who's charged, they will work to flip that person to testify against the other ones. So the person with the least culpability will get the shortest amount of prison time, and they will use that testimony to convict the other people.
Yeah.
And we don't know who that is at this point in time.
No, there's no way of knowing, and the kids are going to be the key to this. But once again, we don't have insight into how verbal they are, or how aware they are. Severe malnutrition affects.
Bro, you can imagine these kids probably don't even know how to speak proper English. If the 18-year-old can't even spell her name, right? They never been to school. Nobody taught them anything. They probably got a speech impediment. Because I remember my nephew had that. He had that for a while until he went and got therapy, and now he can speak clearly. You can just imagine these kids don't even know how to talk. They don't even know their name. They don't even know where they at or what's going on. They literally just hurting these kids. And when they move around to these different communities, when you see somebody move into your neighborhood, you don't see 20 people walking in their house. 20 people. Like I said, I don't believe that those people are their parents or their grandparents. I believe that they are their kidnappers. And that 18-year-old is definitely the mother, is probably, allegedly, the mother of some of those kids, bro. You ain't finna tell who's birthing these children.
It's not just your body, but also your brain and your memory. And so I'm sure defense lawyers will be interested in eventually cross-examining these kids to show that perhaps they don't remember things well. So it's a bit of a challenge with respect to who the witnesses will be to say what did or didn't happen. Having said that, there's a there's a civil Latin phrase in the law called res ipsa loquitur. This thing speaks for itself. You don't need a lot of evidence to show that kids in your care who are this poorly treated or whose conditions are so bad is the responsibility of the adults in the house.
What I want to break down here a little bit, and this is just me from, you know, a high up looking down kind of view, but there's a report out there that Elizabeth Siders, the wife of Gary Jr., that she used to go to this baby pantry, you know, where if you are a person in need and can't afford stuff, you go there and you can get diapers and formula and stuff like that. And that she would come in and she was kind of like, she would come in once a week. You were allowed to come in once a week, but that she would sometimes try to come more than once a week. And that Gary Jr., this is what the report says, that he would wait out in the car or the truck or whatever, and she'd come in and she seemed kind of anxious and stuff like that. And she'd come in and get what she needed and then she'd leave. So Elizabeth is the newest member of this family, the Siders family. The grandparents, Christina and Gary Sr., they are obviously the matriarch and patriarch of this family.
Yep.
Gary Jr. is their child. So they've been together the longest. And then somehow at some point, Elizabeth is brought into the fray. And so I think we're left to deduce that these children are somehow like a part of the initial threesome of Gary Sr., Gary Jr., and Christina, the older children. And we have Elizabeth coming into this. And then there's another report talking about how Elizabeth's mother has been posting on Facebook, like, I can't wait to see my daughter again. Happy birthday. Like, I hope to see her again soon.
Bro, just think about how evil of a person you have to be to have children in a house like this, rotting, dying. The report said one of the kids was literally dying when they got there. Just think about, but I'm not surprised because they done the same thing to our ancestors. Our ancestors, these people done the same thing to our ancestors. Raped them, murdered them, lynched them, sick dogs on them, whipped them, beat them, used their skin as leather, email poster cards of them hanging black people. Like, this is these sick, this is their culture. This is their history. And every time you hear them bring up black on black crime in 1350, it's a projection. Because I don't understand, like, how can you be this type of a sick fuck to do these to innocent children? Innocent children. You look at these babies literally dying. You looking at them and you saying, yeah, we going to keep this up. We going to keep doing this. If one die off, we just going to have one of the kids make another one. You trying to figure out ways to get formula and food for these babies and not get them no help, no medical help. I don't think they were just doing this for fun. They weren't just housing these kids just to sit them in a room. No, they was doing something to these babies. They was doing something to them. The neighbors are in on it too. Because ain't no way in hell you can walk in and out their house and see those kids in that type of living condition and say, yeah, let's keep this up. Let's keep doing this every day. These kids sick. They can't talk. They living in feces. They're dying off. They can't even talk. They don't know who they is. Yeah, let's keep doing this. Let's keep having kids. We got 16. Let's go all the way up to 40. And you telling me this ain't white culture? These people are evil. And every time, and the reason why they want to erase our history, because they don't want us to bring this up, how these people really is. These are the descendants of slave owners. These people that's walking amongst us, Officer Proctor, Detective Proctor that we just covered, he's a descendant of the slave owners. It ain't changed just because the times done changed. We are the descendants of our ancestors. Of excellence, brilliance, innovators, survivors, warriors. But when you look at their ancestors, you see degeneracy, cavemen, animals, predators, grapists, unalivers. So when I see stuff like this, it breaks my heart because it's children. But I'm not surprised. Like, guys, y'all see me post every day almost on my timeline about a judge getting caught with child porn, this pastor getting locked up for this. I can literally post every day of what's going on in their community. But then I go to their channel, I see them talking about black fatigue. Y'all don't want to highlight these children that was literally suffering for years? Megyn Kelly, don't they deserve to be on your platform? Matt Walsh, Steven Crowder, Mr. Potato Head, don't these Moose in the Face, don't these people deserve to get highlighted on y'all platforms? It might be a family that want to adopt these kids. But 400 white incel men marching in Washington crying because they want to be victims when children are literally being hurt in their community every day, but they not marching behind these babies. This is let's keep going, family. This is crazy.
And stuff like that. And there's a picture of her that we need to verify, but she had blonde hair. Now she's got this dark black hair. So is it possible that
she looked like a drug addict?
Is somewhat of a victim in all of this too?
Could be. Could be. I want to give viewers a context around this region. It's a poor area, but there is plenty of social safety net for families to eat and take care of their children. There are welfare benefits, there are SNAP, there are local churches that have food pantries. There are a lot of good Christian and hardworking people in those counties.
Moose in the Face is Shamika, Po-Chop co-host. We covered her a few times on this channel, who don't believe that black women should defend themselves. Yeah, Moose in the Face, that's her name. Shamika.
Who will help other people in need. So this is not like we saw in the 1960s when President LBJ started his war against poverty in Appalachia because there were simply no resources. There are resources there. Having said that, there's also an opioid scourge that continues. There's a methamphetamine scourge that continues. So many of the cases I've prosecuted or worked on in Appalachia,
they don't even come outside. These people so pale. These people literally clear. Like, if you look at the grandmother, look at their face. Like these people are so damn clear. I could damn near see through the grandmother's face. The grandmother damn near look, she blending in with the damn gray shit in the background. The grandmother is so goddamn clear. These people do not go outside. These people stay in that house rotting. And they wonder why Jeff Metcalf looked like he these people age. Jeff Metcalf looked like the age of these people right here, and he ain't number 61 years old. These elderly people right here, Jeff Metcalf looked just like them. And I guarantee you they probably 80-some years old, 70-some years old. Elderly people in your community sitting here watching these children get treated in a way, and they're indulging in it. No telling what this old fuck doing to them babies. This elderly woman, Christina, looking at these 1-year-old kids getting treated like this. You're not even going to take these people to the hospital, get them a proper meal, make sure they in a clean bed, they taking a bath. Y'all just going to let these babies die off like that, and that's okay with y'all? This is okay with y'all. Don't tell me that this is a one-off. No. 76% of your community of white men indulge in hurting your children It might not be to the point of this extent of they rotted in the house, but the white men can't keep their hands off their kids. Like, this is not even white. This is gray. These people are literally gray.
Drug addiction. I would not be surprised if we learn that some of the parents of these children are no longer parenting or on the scene because of drug addiction.
And that's something interesting that you bring up.
Salute to the Tory Experience for the $2 super chat. And they say we want to look like white people. Oh my, I know they ain't saying that. I know goddamn how we want to look like them, and everybody across the goddamn globe want to look like us. Every time I look up, you're looking like us, you're dressing like us, you're talking like us. If you want to be cool, you have to cosplay as us. Salute to the Tory Experience for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, love. You are the real MVP. Let's get back into the content, family. Smash that like button.
Up too. I noticed some redness around the eyes and the mug shots and stuff like that. I wonder if we will learn that drug abuse, addiction
they on drugs.
Is a part of this story. That we're just talking here. We don't know that for certain, but it could
we
be
know.
a piece of this puzzle.
We know.
And you're right. There are programs out there. These people could have easily registered for welfare benefits, SNAP benefits. All of those things could have been done to get nourishment, good food for these children so that they could be fed.
So they wasn't on government assistance. So if they wasn't registered for government assistance in assisted living, how was they able to move and pay the bills? Because you're not just moving into a home just how? How's they making money? Are they doing something with these kids to make money? Is the neighbors indulging? Because they said this is a poor area, and we know how the trailer trash people get down. How was they paying bills if they wasn't on government assistance or food stamps? Because they already stated that the mother was going around to these little places trying to act like she want to get formula for the babies and stuff like that, coming back 2 or 3 times. So they trying to stay out of the government view by not registering for food stamps and Section 8. But I asked the question, how was they paying the bills? And what the hell was y'all serving them a warrant for? Why we can't know that? We knew what the fuck y'all was serving Diddy a warrant for.
And housed more properly. 16 kids, you've got some explaining to do, though. If you've got 16 kids,
16.
You got some explaining to do to the government about why you got 16 kids. So one thing I find interesting about this too, Mark, so sad but interesting, is the fact that, I mean, you're keeping these kids apparently indoors, I guess, for 4 years. This is it's not like a subdivision where you've got kids running around on bikes and stuff like that. It's by a railroad track, and there's some brush and stuff like that. But there are neighbors.
Advanced nerves, you might be right.
But the neighbors didn't see the kids. Like I don't even understand how that's possible.
Thank you. I'm glad she said that. Let me replay what she just said. Let me replay this. Because I'm going to keep saying it.
Stuff like that. It's by a railroad track, and there's some brush and stuff like that. But there are neighbors. But the neighbors didn't see the kids. Like I don't even understand how that's possible. Like,
how? Ma'am, see, you speaking common sense. Yes, it's not impossible. They saw them damn kids. They didn't care. We talking about the lineage of evil. Your lineage is evil. They turned a blind eye to those people over there. No telling what they was doing, making sure the neighbors kept their mouth closed or whatever like that. You don't have 20 people living in your neighborhood and you don't know. It's just impossible. You going to either hear something, you going to come over there, they going to come over to your house, they going to spill the 4 years and y'all didn't know 20 people in that house. Stop it. 20 people in that house and y'all don't know for 4 straight years. How the fuck? Matter of fact, who owned this fucking house? We need to bring the landlord to the front. So you didn't go check on your property, sir or ma'am? You didn't. The way these people was describing that house was filthy. You own that property. So you didn't go check on your own property for 4 years? These people didn't tell you how many people was living in your property? Bring the landlord to the front. Was the landlord a part of this? Because ain't no way in hell I own a property, you living in my shit, and you got my shit looking like that. You got 20. Ain't no landlord finna lease a property with 20 people to live in. No landlord in their right mind about to lease a property for 20 people to live in. And the landlord not gonna show up. So obviously they stayed 4 years in this house and didn't even get evicted. Didn't even get evicted.
Like as you said, the kids are going to be the key.
Yeah, keeping children indoors is in itself for long periods of time is neglect and endangerment, because we all know
Life in
children need
prison.
fresh air. They need
It should be
vitamin
life in prison, no trial, no nothing. You don't get no plea deal. We ain't finna go back and forth with you. Save your money on your defense attorney. You going to jail for life. Simple. You hurt kids, death penalty.
D. They also need to go to school.
Yes.
Whether it's the public school or the local Christian or charter school.
the house
or
was
even
in a
homeschooled
trust?
by an appropriate parent or adult who's willing to take.
Oh, the house was in a trust. Oh, okay. I ain't know that. I got some people in the chat telling me the house was in a trust. But they said that they's been there for 4 years and they moving around. House was in a trust. Trust didn't check because rent was paid. Oh, the house was in a trust, so the trust didn't care because the rent was paid. Okay, the rent was paid, but I still need to check on my property, though. Like, how the landlord not even going to check on his property for 4 years? Yeah, my rent can be paid, but I'm still going to drive by and see what's going on. I'm going to still ride by my property and creep by like Big Worm and see, hey, okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, bet. Everything looking good. I might come by just to hold a fake conversation with you and walk through the house. Hey, you mind if I come on in? Yeah, we got to fix this over here and just be flogging and just, I got to replace this water heat tank. I need to come inside. Yeah, let me schedule. I got a maintenance man come over there to look at something. Y'all not even going. So 4 years, y'all ain't do no maintenance requests? Come on now, family. 4 years, the person who got this house in their trust ain't sent nobody over there to fix on nothing? If you rent my property, I am still going to come by and look at my damn property. That's my shit. You ain't talking about nothing. I'm still going to come by and see what's going on. 4 years, I got to check on the air filter. I got to make sure the power lines, I got to make sure everything is good. This is my investment. What the hell? Y'all let these people stay in this property for 4 years because the rent paid, you just going to ignore it? And you got 20 people living in your property and damaged your property.
On that responsibility. But every adult in that house, once they've allowed children in, has now a legal obligation to look out for the interest of that child. The law is not that.
Exactly. When Tay talk, she said, so back to your original thought, how were the rent paid? How was they paying the rent? There was no government assistance, no goddamn Section 8 voucher. The mother was going to different places to get some formula for the babies. So how was they paying the rent for 4 years? It's a lot of investigation that they got to do. This sound like trafficking to me. This don't sound like some kids that just riding in the room. Now, y'all was doing something with them kids. Stop it. Because y'all stayed in their house. They already named off 3 counties that they lived in. How in the hell are they paying rent with no job? No Section 8 voucher? Stop it.
Only parents are responsible for children, but any functioning adult who's the head of the household, you mentioned the matriarch and the patriarch, or a responsible adult who's looking out for children, you're bringing onto yourself a higher obligation that a stranger would not have to look out for the welfare of these children. And these charges that are currently being brought, I wouldn't be surprised if these charges get amended and added to, are all second-degree felonies, each one of which could serve 8 to 12 years in prison.
8 to 12
potentially
years
consecutively. So these adults, whatever their relationship are to these children, are criminally liable for what happens to these children. And these are very serious crimes and could result in decades and decades in prison.
And that was going to be my next question to you. I'm glad you brought that up about whether you believe more charges will be added, because this is just an initial complaint, an initial document that they filed basically after they find these kids in this house. It's horrific. You know, I went to summer camp in Benton County back when I was like a kid. Like, I don't remember how old I was. But I went to summer.
You said they paid the rent by doing something strange for a piece of change. That could be true. But goddamn, that ain't consistent. That little white lady, she can't be the only one selling that cat and paying the bills like that. That cat can't pay for all them people like that and feed their whole family. That cat ain't making that much money. That cootie cat ain't making it. That pale white woman, because I know grandma ain't popping nothing. Grandma ain't busting nothing open. So the only person that had to bring in some dollars was that white woman? Nah, I don't believe it. Can't be that. Not 4 years straight. Ain't no way you feeding a family of 20 with that look. Nah.
Beautiful area. I bet you had a great time. It really is beautiful country there.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, very beautiful. But as you mentioned, yeah, very poor. It's the least populous state, or county rather, in the state of Ohio. And so, but there still are resources. There are resources to help people down there. So, Mark, you have a new book out. Talk to me about God Bless America.
Okay, family. I just want salute to the Tory Experience for the $2 super chat. Mouth through Waterbury of Louisville S8 a child. What? Let me screenshot this. I gotta look into that. What? Thank you, Tory Experience, for the $2 super chat. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Nah, for real, y'all. I ain't laughing. That she ain't popping that coot like that for 4 years straight to pay that bills. She ain't, nah, hell no. Hell no. Y'all ain't, I don't see how y'all making money like that. To feed 20 people? 20 people. People struggling feeding them they damn self, let alone 20 miles. Man, you out of your goddamn mind. Now, you know I like to, she said maybe her name is Priscilla and her cat is a killer. Exactly, Summer. They never saw her pregnant. Hillbillies don't have to pay rent, light, gas, or water. Go up in them hills. You will find out. I heard about that. You right about that. They probably be living in houses with like no electrician. Because here where I'm from in Memphis, I know some people that live in houses in the hood and they don't pay for nothing. They got the house, but they don't got no electrician, no gas, no light, nothing on. So that's true. But I like to make my rounds around white supremacy world and the Sambo world and see if they talking about this story, right? Let's go to Rockface. She had a lot to say about our dear brother Carmelo Anthony. But I wonder, do she care about these children that was suffering in his house? I wonder, because Megyn Kelly want to be a victim, is white people, is black. Let's just stroll down her timeline and see. She talking about a bunch of Madonna and nothing about the kids in her community. Rock in the face. Rockface Kelly. Rockface Kelly, you not gonna cover these children, these innocent children that almost lost their lives. But you got Carmelo Anthony, you talking about Diddy, you making videos about this every single day. You made 18,000 videos about Carmelo Anthony. You can't make one video to shine light on this situation. I told you, white America, I have to do this for y'all because y'all don't care about y'all people. So the innocent and the most vulnerable people in y'all community, I have to shine light on it because y'all not going to talk about it. Y'all not going to. Rockface had everything to talk about Carmelo Anthony, right? And they won. Carmelo Anthony got convicted and they still on the internet crying. But these 16 children that was abused, that was left for dead, you ain't going to even mention a word of it, Rockface? That's crazy. Let's go to Po Chop channel. Let's go to Po Chop. It's Po Chop. Po Chop love tap dancing for the white folk, right? Black culture, this is black culture. Black culture. Let me see, Po Chop. Like, do you... let me go to your live. No. Carmelo Anthony. Let's go to your live stream. Let's see. You made a video today about the World Cup. You talk about LeBron, Caitlin Clark. Damn, Jason, do you care about... I thought you care about white people. I thought you said black culture is degenerate. You had so much to say about white culture. Let me go to Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head, you love white people. I know you said something about these innocent white children. I know for a fact Mr. Potato Head said something. Mr. Potato Head love white people. Let's see. Usher, black women goes viral. Body cam footage. Oh, okay, Mr. Potato Head said something about it. Let me hear what Mr. Potato Head got to say.
Stuff of nightmares allegedly hidden behind
Mr.
the
Potato
doors
Head.
of this simple...
Let me go see what Mr. Potato Head got to say. Let me see, is he going to say that this is black culture? I mean, this is white culture. I really want to see. All right, Mr. Potato Head, let's go.
For the children, because they didn't have to be here, but 16 children is absolutely insane. 16 children living in deplorable conditions is crazy. I don't even know if there's a word to describe it, and I'm pretty sure
I can describe it. White culture. That's easy.
That the conditions were so horrific that you're going to probably need some kind of assistance as a person that discovered it from a law enforcement perspective to get over it, right? I can't imagine some of the things that our law enforcement and the people that respond to these type of situations see and how they take that. That's number one. Number two, let me hit on something that I think that very few people really want to have a conversation about. And this is near Appalachian, whatever, right? And we've always known these areas to be incredibly poor. And when I say incredibly poor, I mean super poor.
So?
Super poor, a lot of incest, right?
Okay.
And
I'm glad you pointed that out. Incest. Mr. Potato Head, congratulations. I'm glad you brought that out. Incest. But you need to put white culture when you mention incest. This is what they do. They the leading demographic of incest. Thank you for saying that.
Some people would even say that it's racist, but it's not really racist.
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
really a heavy dose of poverty and everything that comes
He
with
had
poverty.
to go ahead and tap that. People not gonna say it's racist. This shit has everything. So you will give them the cop out, Mr. Potato Head, and say that it's just poverty and all that. But black people, you don't use it as an excuse. You don't give black people the out by saying it's poverty, even though most of the crime that happen in the black community have happened in the poverty-stricken areas. Not the middle class, not the upper middle class. We busy. We run it up. We coming excellent. We are becoming the best version of ourselves every single day. But you don't give us that. You say black culture black culture is trash. Y'all always crying about racism. But when it comes to these degenerate, evil fucks, you want to blame it on poverty. Typical Sambo behavior.
And I've said this a lot, and I've said that poverty is demonic, right? Because poverty puts you in a situation where you would do things that you otherwise wouldn't do if you had resources. And so that is one of the reasons why it's very important for you to get your bag up, to get your money up. And not only that, but no longer surround yourself in situations or circumstances where people are trying to stay in that same poverty-stricken mindset. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're white. Poverty is poverty.
Wow.
And these are some of the most poverty-stricken people ever. They're asking this question and they're saying,
wow,
how come nobody was able to notice? How come nobody was able to find out what was going on? I'll tell you exactly why. It's because in these areas of poverty, Nobody asks any questions. Nobody is checking for anybody. And you're usually in these rural towns, you don't have the type of community and insight into what other people are doing. And so a lot of this goes unnoticed and it goes swept under the rug for a long time.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not all the way true, because when you live in a hood or you live in these, you know, these poverty-stricken areas, everybody know one another. What you mean? When you go to the hood, you can walk down the street. You can everybody, you know the neighbor's name. They know what's going on in the neighborhood, especially these small towns like this, especially these trailer parks. They all be doing meth together, sleeping with each other, brothers and sisters and uncles. They know who was in that house. Them people stayed there for 4 years. You can miss me with that. They don't know who they is. They know exactly who they is. Yeah, they overlook it because they don't care. They are demonic. But I'm telling you, family, Mr. Potato Head would not give this same courtesy and sympathy and empathy if this was black people. You know what Mr. Potato Head would be saying if there was black parents and grandparents doing this with 16 black kids? You think Mr. Potato Head will have this type of sympathy, trying to blame it on poverty? No, he'll say that this is the reason the black women is and black men don't do this and black culture is trash. Y'all don't take care of y'all kids and woo, woo, woo. That's what he'll say. When you live in small areas and in ghettos and neighborhoods, everybody know each other. Everybody know each other family. Everybody interact with each other. Ain't nobody just living by themselves in the middle of nowhere and they don't know what's going on and who around them. They're poor. Poor people hang around each other. Stupid.
The better question that we should be asking ourselves is, did every child that live in these deplorable conditions actually even survive? Because they saying that it was 16 children that was rescued. I'm wondering if it was more children that ultimately didn't survive these circumstances.
And listen to me. I thought about that too. I said maybe they need to dig up in the backyard or something, because they said one of the child was down there dying when they showed up. They might need to dig around that property and see, is it some bones buried? Is some bodies buried around that property? Because I don't think it was just 16 kids. Because these people was already struggling to feed those children. Some of those kids probably didn't make it. Even when you do these at-home birth, it's not always successful, especially, living like how they was living. I'm pretty sure that they got some skeletons in that backyard and they need to do a full investigation on this situation. Seriously.
You see these people again, when you see them looking crazy and stuff, a lot of that is because it's incest. A lot of that is because people are having children with people that are related to them. Yep. And so you see them and they cross-eyed and they're drooling and stuff. That's not normal. That's not natural. This is the stuff that's made in horror movies. These are the things that you see inside of these movies where you go into these wooded areas or whatever and there's never no population or anybody around, and this is the type of stuff that happens. And it happens more often than you think, and there's so many people, so many children that have nobody to come and rescue them. And I would really want to, and I'm going to follow up on this story, I really want to find out, because they're going to get the book thrown at them. I don't think that they're ever going to get out of jail or get out of prison.
Shit.
I really want to know how they were hinted off or how people discovered this situation in the first place. It's very bad.
I think if they would have waited another
They discovered it because they were serving a warrant to these people. And they don't want to tell us. I don't even want to read no more about what's going on. I want to hear what else Mr. Potato Head said. Mr. Potato Head got these people so many excuses, bro. It's crazy.
Status is, I don't care about your political affiliation.
Yes, you do.
Nor do I care about your race.
Yes, you do.
I think that all children here in the U.S. Should be protected.
No, you don't.
And for this type of thing to go on for so long, it's a travesty. It's a failure. It's a travesty of our society. It's a travesty within the culture.
What culture? Whoa. It's a travesty in the culture. Who culture? Who culture? Because you got a lot to say about black culture. You blame everything on black culture. But now you want to say you care about the children. You don't care about the race. You don't give a damn about black children. You talk shit about black children every day on your platform. You're lying.
It's a failure. It's a travesty of our society. It's a travesty within the culture, and it's a travesty within the state. Let me know what you guys think inside.
No, it's a travesty for their culture. Their culture. Let me just look at, oh, he got so much to say. Look at his whole channel. It's just black people this, black people that, Chicago teen this, just excuses, bro. Like, this guy don't give a fuck. Like, he'll see a situation like this and just ignore the fact that these people are very common at doing stuff like this. This is their lineage. This is their behavior. This is how they get down. They indulge in incest heavily. I played you guys the clip of Charlie Kirk literally clapping that this woman had a child by her father. Clapping. Now let's go to who else we missing? Let's go to Officer Tatum. Because we know Officer Tatum, he had he was holding white people accountable the other day when it comes. I know, you remember I told you that he have to make 50 black fatigue videos. Let's see. We reviewed this video of the black woman that shot that white man. Here you go. I'm tired of N-word. Black pastor goes off. Black customer loses it. I knew it. I knew he had to tap dance. But Officer Tatum, why you not covering these children? You have mixed children. You don't care about those babies? What's going on? I don't blame y'all. I can't stand him, but I just be want to call their hypocrisy out, right? Because they talk about us so much. They got our names in their mouth so much. Look at Officer Tatum. He ain't even covered it. They run away from stories like that, right? They do not want to discuss stuff like that. But this is what they community do, family. You got Charlie Kirk was literally applauding incest. Let me show you. This is what they community do. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. I'm about to show y'all. Because he didn't want to talk about the incest that happened in their community. Anton didn't put it on white people, because I guarantee you if the family was black, he would have had he got patience, care, all type of shit. But it was a black person, black fatigue. Check this out, family.
4 years ago, I was raped by my father, and I chose not to have an abortion, and this is what came out of it.
She was raped by her father, and they clapping. Bunch of
I'm very sorry that happened to you. That is incest and tell us your little one's name.
This is Jonah.
And Jonah's a miracle from God.
He is.
But it was a terrible thing that happened to you. What is your message to people that say babies conceived in rape are not human beings?
They are absolutely human beings. They are made individually by God, and they can do some very important things. I believe that he'll grow up and he'll help people, and based on all of our experiences, we can try and keep them from doing the same thing that their parents did.
Praise God. Jonah is alive because of your courage.
Look at these people. Look at these people. Don't condemn the father, right? She didn't even
years ago.
She didn't condemn the father. Charlie Kirk didn't condemn the father. The father might be standing right there beside her, and these people clapping. These people clapping. Exactly. Her brother is her son. Charlie Kirk didn't say, hey, let's blast your father. Charlie Kirk didn't say, let's talk about the white man that's hurting our children, hurting our daughters, impregnating our daughters. Let's expose them. Let's call them out. No, Charlie Kirk got to talk about black pilots and black customer service workers and black women and all black people, black violence and all that. And he's looking his culture directly in the face right there. Charlie Kirk, that is your culture that you're talking to. That's your culture. This is what y'all do. Y'all have a history of doing this. Not just to your own, to our ancestors as well. Where y'all think y'all got it from? Y'all got it from you got this behavior from your ancestors because they did this to our people. They had our people sleeping with each other, doing the most degenerate stuff, trying to breed more black slaves. and y'all sit up here and applaud this. You know, if I was Charlie Kirk and a black woman came to me and said that, hey, my father raped me and this is what I had this baby, I would say, I'm sorry for what happened to you. Yeah, this is incest. This is wrong. What's your father's name? Let's blast him. Let's get the police on him. Come see me after this because this can't happen in our community. Let's get some charges put on this man. That's him standing beside you? Where your father at right now? I'm about to get my team to help you out. Stand over here. Let's get your information so we can get him locked up. No, Charlie Kirk, they just clapping. On to the next. He don't care. He want to get to the next black fatigue topic. Didn't even offer this lady any type of help. This lady gonna be traumatized for the rest of her life. Her father hurt her. And she got to see it every day in that child's face. They offer her no resources. Charlie Kirk wasn't upset when he heard this. I'm upset that I heard this. I would be highly upset if I heard a black woman come to me and I'm sitting down listening to her tell me her father done raped her and you got the baby in your arms. I would have stopped her in her track. Ma'am, come stand over here. I got you. Yeah, come stand. Yeah, we finna deal with this. Yeah, we finna get your father information. I'm finna get my people on this. Nah. You think we finna be sitting here clapping? Talking about this a blessing from God? This is a blessing from God. But Anton didn't want to blame this on their culture. But anytime somebody do something with black people, that's black culture. Black culture is trash. These YNs is black culture. Black single motherhood. He ready to blame somebody. But when he seen a situation like this, he talking about, oh, incest and this is probably with the culture. What culture, Anton? I mean, Mr. Potato Head? No, white culture. This is what they do. Charlie Kirk is looking at this right in front of his face. He's looking his culture in his face, but he don't want to get hit with reality. That's why he didn't address the issue. He didn't even want to address the issue. That's why he said, clap it up. What's his name? And he's a blessing for God. What message do you have? What message do you have? This woman was hurt, bro. You got this woman preaching on a microphone. She was hurt, Charlie Kirk. We don't need to hear no message from her. She need help. Can you help her? Fucking crazy. Sickening, man. Fucking sick fucks. Shit pissed me off. Exactly, Levin. Counting or not counting gang violence. Bow. That was his last words. Counting or not counting gang violence. The white man told him about mass shootings, which is they heavily represent mass shootings, white males. Charlie Kirk don't want to be held accountable. He don't want to talk about the issues in his community. He went straight into talking about black people. Counting or not counting gang violence. Bow! Get you up out of here. He overdosed just like that. The metals just started falling all over his neck. He couldn't breathe. And, that's it. That was the end of it. The ancestors had enough of this nigga. The ancestors said, yeah, that's enough. Get him up out of here. Yeah, your time up. You seen her you gave a round of applause to a woman who got hurt. A woman who got hurt standing in front of you, instead of assisting her with help and trying to get that father convicted or something happened to him, you call her child a blessing from God. Incest is a blessing from God from these people. It's God doings from not having Charlie Kirk on this. And what y'all looking at is attorney Sean Kent, the raccoon that represented Rick Chow in his case. That's talking about black people talking about all money ain't good money. You should try it. Coward. And he really think that he's something special because he won that case and they hired him. They hired you because you black. You don't want to admit it, but yeah, white man defending a white Asian man. Yeah, he OD'd. The ancestor said, you know what? Go on, get you up out of here, bro. You sitting here clapping for incest. Get the fuck up out of here. Yeah, we ain't finna allow y'all to be walking around these streets anymore. Nah. He couldn't even stay on topic. The white dude asked him, yeah, what about the gun violence that's happening in the white community with the mass shootings? Counting or not counting gang violence? Charlie Kirk, there was too much metal you overdosed, sir. Calm down. Take it piece by piece, sir. Slow down. That's why you overdosed. You took too much metal at one time. It's an awakening for y'all out here now. We're not playing no games with y'all. We're not playing no games. Now they going around trying to vandalize our sister that defended herself from that race soldier that was walking her down at Walmart. And that DA better get it right down there. She better not get no charges or we gon' listen to me. She better not get no charges. She stood her ground. And I just found out her age. She was 62 years old. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that lady was 62 years old? 60 years old or something like that? I think that's what they said. So you knew she wasn't finna squabble with this man running up on her like that? Exactly, eyes open. He put her shame out there as if it was something to flex. He flexed incest. 11 said, motherfucker OD on deflection. Nigga asked him about because when Charlie Kirk overdosed, the day he overdosed, it was 3 mass shootings. A 16-year-old happened the day before, and it was 2 mass shootings that happened at a school in Utah. And one happened in North Carolina. It was a mass shooting that happened. And the guy was asking him about Charlie Kirk. This dude said, I don't want to black people. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. What you think about the weather today, though? Black on black crime. Yeah, your wife is out here. Black people. Black. Oh, my bad. I thought you asked me something about black people. That's it. That's all. That's his response to holding his oh, she was 62 and so was he. Yeah, that 62-year-old woman wasn't finna be out here scuffling with no man. That's what, and that makes a lot of sense why she had that gun at gunpoint like that. She like, oh, I ain't finna play with you. This is one of our elders. Hell no. It makes sense now. I ain't know she was 62. I know it makes sense. She didn't even give him the opportunity. She wasn't finna be swinging, scuffling. That sister said, take that. Yeah, she was 62 years old, looking good. Post Shop talking about, she looking like a man. Post Shop, you and Moose in the face. Moose in the face and Pochop really got the nerve to try to talk about this woman looks. The nerve of these niggas. You thought this 62-year-old woman was finna be putting up her dukes to fight this overly aggressive predator maniac. That's supposed to say, I'm not finna play with you, sir. Get back. I'm warning you. Because no telling how he would have hurt that sister if he would have got his hands on her. He walked up on her aggressively. And she was prepared for it. She said, I ain't doing no scuffling. You finna take this hot leg. And he overdosed. I ain't see no shot. He overdosed. Our sister is innocent and she's home, alive and well. Again, thank you, sister, for being alive right now. Fuck you talking about. You think we finna be sitting around here? Right. What about Chicago? Bro, everything is Chicago. You bring up anything that they do, what about Chicago? Hey, 16 kids just got found in the house almost dying. Yeah, but Chicago. Hey, it was just a mass shooting that unalived 2 white men that y'all care about so much the other day in California. Chicago. Hey, you got 400 white men marching in Washington crying about who knows what. Yeah, so what? What about Chicago though? They kill each other every day in Chicago. Chicago. Hey, it's a judge who just got sentenced to 30 years for child porn, and a pastor that just got arrested for hurting a child. So they shooting in Chicago. Oh, they said her age wasn't released. Oh, okay. I knew I seen 62 or some 60. I knew I seen 60. Cause somebody told me she was 60. I said, oh, okay, it makes sense. It really don't matter how old she is, but I'm just saying, if she was an older lady, it makes sense why she wouldn't even going to attempt to scuffle with this man. That sister had that gun pointed at him like, I'm not finna play with you, dude. You finna either get in your car, go home, or you finna overdose. Oh, okay. Okay, she ain't 62. They haven't released her age. Okay, cool. But either ways it goes, that sister wasn't finna play. She was finna make it home. I can't say the same about somebody else. May he rest in peace. I don't give a fuck. Don't be running up on our people thinking shit sweet. Oh, the fuck you think this is? But salute to the family. Salute to the chat. I love y'all. I enjoyed y'all on this evening. I just had to discuss this, family, because they refuse to talk about the crimes that goes on in their community. It's always black on black crime and all this. But as we can see, that detective that's getting exposed for talking about he want to unalive black people, calling children black monkeys, talking about he want to have a day to unalive black people. He want to hang them drag them by his car. They sending pictures in a group chat of black kids in a cage being marked by white children. It's so many other things that these people could be talking about, but they focus on us. Why is that? Because we are the elite class. We are the supreme class. They have to talk about us. This guy can't even do his job as a law enforcement and just protect and serve the community. He got to talk about planting coke on black people. And you wonder why we are overly represented in exonerations, false imprisonment, because of police officers like this guy, Proctor. But salute, family. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm not going to hold you guys any much longer. Salute to the family. Can we put rest in peace Cyrus in the chat? Before we get up out of here, can we get some purple hearts and rest in peace Cyrus in the chat before we get up out of here? Because I don't know, this guy Sean Kent think that he's going to get away with what he did in that courtroom, protecting that animal. But he think because, he on social media gloating, keep talking about the money he getting paid and his rent, how his rent getting paid, how his car getting paid, all that shit. Okay. All right. It's all good, Latoya. We appreciate you for being here today, love. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for showing up today. Salute true meaning. Rest in peace, Cyrus, bro. Rest in peace, Cyrus, man. This coward seen her represented Rick Child. He seen the evidence, was like, yeah, I'm gonna defend this. I'm gonna defend a man that ran down on a young child, and I'm gonna present this young child as a thief, as a guy that was, as a kid that was looking for trouble because he had a weapon on him. So let me justify these Asian white men running 130 yards to unalive a 14-year-old child. And I'm proud of it. I'm gonna get on, matter of fact, I'm gonna get on the internet and I'm gonna gloat about it. He went on Mr. Potato Head channel and talk about how black people talk about, oh, money ain't good money. Shit, until you try it, that lets me know everything about you. You sold your soul for money. You sold your soul for money. Talking about some, everybody opinion ain't gonna pay my bills. Bro, these black attorneys out here is really disappointing. Like, a lot of these black attorneys are disgusting me, especially how they speaking on Carmelo Anthony. It seems like all these black attorneys going against Carmelo Anthony online on YouTube. I'm seeing so many of these goddamn black attorneys shucking and jiving, tap dancing against Carmelo Anthony. And it's a reason why y'all on YouTube and not in the courtroom. Just because you're an attorney don't mean that you're right. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Well, I got an attorney on my channel. Well, this black attorney agreed that Carmelo Anthony was guilty. I don't give a fuck what that attorney said. It's a reason why he on YouTube and not in the courtroom representing high profile people. Fuck him. His word don't mean nothing. I can look up the same information he can. Nobody give a damn because you a black attorney. Like y'all, these white supremacist channels posting these black attorneys saying that Carmelo Anthony deserved what he got and all that. They on YouTube. Don't nobody know these attorneys. Dennis Sperling out here shucking a jive and going against Carmelo Anthony with his fat ass. Sean Kent just got a slappable face. I can't stand his bitch ass. Rest in peace, Cyrus. Yeah, you right. He better make sure he stay in good graces. Because once you cross the line, you gotta stay there, bro. Like, they think shit's sweet out here. The lead attorney, right. His fruit ass. All these damn black attorneys shucking and jiving, thinking just because they attorney, they word mean law. Fuck you, I don't care. What you mean? We can do our research. We can look up law. We can look up all these things too. You're not special because you sitting on YouTube. I'm a black attorney, and here's my opinion on Carmelo Anthony. Fuck your opinion. Puss ass boy, we don't give a fuck about your opinion. Take your opinion, shove it up your ass. Go sit up there and cape for White Zaddy. We don't give a damn because you're a black lawyer. Obviously, you a piece of shit of a lawyer because you on the internet. I don't see Brian Steele on the internet. Every time I look up, Brian Steele is representing Diddy. He represent Young Thug. He represent everybody. He ain't on YouTube talking about, I am an attorney, and here's my thoughts on Carmelo Anthony. These a bunch of low-level attorneys that ain't make it for real. So now they had to come on YouTube and become content creators trying to tell us about law. Fuck you and your law. I just Google or ChatGPT what's going on. Fuck you. Justice for Raheem Carter. Free Carmelo. Rest in peace, Cyrus. Exactly. AI is getting all these lawyers up out the paint. Right. We don't need them. Their opinion don't mean nothing. And all these white people that's bringing these attorneys on their platform, like, look at the black attorney agrees Carmelo he's guilty. Who is him? Let me see your resume. Who have you represented in the courtroom and got off on a murder trial, on a capital murder trial? Who are you? Put your resume so we can see who you represented. If you ain't represent nobody or got nobody exonerated out of murder, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing about you. You got your law degree from ChatGPT, just like me. We both How about I'm an attorney Dan here. I'm an attorney too. All I gotta do is get my phone. Hey, what do this law state? Hey, what's the law here in Tennessee? Hey, is it legal to protect yourself? Hey, can we do? That's all I gotta do. I can literally have a full conversation with ChatGPT about the laws, about what's legal and what's not legal. That's who gives a fuck? Cause you got a fucking lawyer. You got a soul. I'm gonna talk to ChatGPT. He gonna tell me exactly what I need to know. Carmelo Anthony's guilty. Anything I need to know, I can Google it. I can look it up. The same laws that you citing, I can go look it up. I can go Google it, see what the law is. I can go ChatGPT, see what the law is. I don't care because you're a black lawyer. Like, the only people that care because you're a black lawyer is the white supremacist channels. Them the only people that care. Because I see all these raccoon ass attorneys on these white supremacist channels. Yeah, because see, Carmelo had no business being in the tent. See, this was Carmelo. See, this was unlawful. See, all Carmelo, shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. We don't care what you got to say. See, all Carmelo had to do was just not be where he was supposed to be. And, you know, because of the law, because of the code 1634 say, because I went to law school, right? You see, I've been a lawyer of 20 years. Yeah, who you represented? Yeah, I did a traffic, nigga, what? Nigga, who? Who you represent? Pookie, right now? Get up out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I thought you did something in the courtroom. There's a reason why you on YouTube with us. Nigga, you ain't, get you out of here. See, Carmelo, he brought the knife. See, when he brought the knife, he was looking for trouble. See, when Carmelo Anthony sat under that tent, he was looking to unalive Austin. See, I'm trying to tell y'all I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 20 years. He had no business. See, it's against the law to bring a knife to school. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that shit. See, if I hold a panel, like I can't do, CT, I can't do the panel because I'll lose my cool. Like I only got a certain amount of patience for stupidity. I start crashing out. That's what I'm saying. All these dudes just like beg me to debate me. Like they begging me every day to debate me. They emailing me every day. You're lying about Carmelo Anthony. You're an N-word. You're an N-word. Like you're racist. Because I be like, I just kicked them off the show. Like I don't be want to disappoint nobody because I just like I'm not finna. No. I'm good. Y'all can do the panel stuff. I don't got time. I don't want to talk to nobody. I get mad, cuss you out. I don't even got time for. I can't listen to ignorant people. I don't I ain't got time for the lies. See, the lies irritate me. They irritate me. Just like these black attorneys out here, irritating the fuck out of me. Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, I already cooked Judge Joe Brown. He's still out here tap dancing against Carmelo Anthony. Talking about they should wreck him. Wow, Judge Joe Brown. You know you're done. You know you're almost to your deathbed. They not coming. If they haven't saved you since they kicked you off your TV show, they not coming to save you, Judge Joe Brown. You can start with the butter biscuits. Po Chop already got all of them. Mr. Potato Head and them getting all the butter biscuits. It's Judge O'Brien. You can stay over there in that dead ass YouTube channel you at. Keep talking about black people all day. You're cooked. You're not. They not saving you. The Not Guilty Boys is for Carmelo. Oh, that's the name of the guys. The Not Guilty Boys. I gotta look them up. Thank you for that, T. I gotta look it up. True Meaning said I couldn't be a content creator. I'll lose the channel the first day. No, for real though. Like when you talk to stupid people like the debate, like it seems like now everybody want to debate shit. Like, debate me. Debate what? I'm not debating you. Debate 2976. Let's debate that. Yeah, let's debate 2976. I would love to debate you on that. He's still auditioning. He ain't gonna make it. Yeah, he can't do it, bro. He can't do it. Like his hatred for black people is like is rushing him to his deathbed more. But good luck with that, Judge O'Brien. I see you over there. Good luck. I don't know who the not guilty boys are. Shout out to them. They represent our brother Carmelo. Shout out to the not guilty boys. Absolutely. Yeah, Mr. Potato Head, they got all the butter biscuits. They hogging the butter biscuits. All of the Judge Joe Brown, the Kwame Brown, all of them, they fighting for the butter biscuits at the bottom. Like, it's not enough low IQ white supremacist audience for everybody to eat. That's why Moose in the Face struggling with her channel over there. Moose in the Face, she trying her best to cape for White Zaddy. They ain't came and saved her yet. So what she trying to do is leech off Pochop, and hopefully Pochop can help her get some visibility for the low IQ white audience. But they not supporting her. They not. Then they come over here to my channel, make fake pages, come in here and say, Carmelo Anthony is a murderer, he's going to get raped, and then they leave. They can't stick around too long. Not one troll came in here today, family. Have y'all realized that? Yeah, debates is a waste of time. I'm not debating nobody, bro. What the fuck is we debating about? I'm not debating facts. What the hell is I'm debating? The truth. 1 + 1 is 2. Debate over with. I'm finna debate facts? I'm not finna change your mind. For what? You look at us however you look at us. I don't care. If you can keep talking about 1350, Chicago, cool. I'm gonna keep over here exposing y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm coming for y'all neck. All of y'all coons, all of y'all tap dancers, I'm giving y'all that business. Y'all better hope I don't get like 100,000. Y'all better hope me and the family, because me and the family, we coming up together. Me and the family over here, as I move up, they move up, we move up together. And y'all don't want to, they not going to want to see us. He's a black supremacist. Somebody emailed me that and said that. One of these incel white men crying in my email talking about something. You a black supremacist, bro. What that mean? Okay, I'm a black supremacist. All right. Okay. Black supremacist. Whatever you want to call me. When you ain't got no argument, you just call names. You're a black supremacist. No, I love my people and I stand on business. Fuck boy. Get your bitch ass in the comment section and keep crying. That's all you can do. Yeah, Ringo lost his mind too. I cooked him already. Somebody from Ringo channel, some of his fans came to my video talking about something. You better be careful talking about Ringo, because when he come hard. That motherfucker said, you better be careful talking about Ringo TV, because when he come hard. I'm like, bro, you think I'm scared of Ringo TV? What is Ringo TV gonna say? What he gonna say about me? All he gonna do is lie. He can't do nothing but lie. While you over here coming on my channel helping me out, you need to be helping him out. See, Ringo cussing y'all out for not hitting that like button. My people hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ringo upset at you. See, Ringo supporters over here in my channel talking about he gonna come after me. He coming after you because y'all don't want to hit that like button. Y'all better smash that like button before Ringo TV come after y'all. That's what y'all need to worry about. I'm not worried about Ringo. I'm gonna cook him again. Salute to Eyes Open for the $10 super chat. These channels is a blessing. I will be here when you hit 100,000. Thank you so much. Y'all gonna help me get there. Thank you so much, Eyes Open. You the real MVP. I appreciate the $10 super chat, love. Thank you. Oh, if I hit 100K subscribers, That means everybody, all these big platforms, they gonna recognize me. They gonna be trying to attack me. They gonna be like, who the fuck is this nigga talking like that? His supporters over there, a bunch of black, excellent, smart, productive black people over there. What's going on? They gonna be trying to target me. I don't give a fuck. All that shucking and jiving, that shit ends now. I literally got a hit list. All that shucking, bootlicking. See, Mr. Potato Head gonna have to see me. Poe Chop gonna have to see me. Officer Tampon gonna have to see me. Officer Tater Tot gonna have to see me. Rockface gonna be so mad. I can't wait till I get on the radar of Rockface. When Megan Rockface Kelly's, I swear to, I'm gonna get on her last nerves. I want to get on Rockface last nerves. Megan Rockface Kelly, I can't wait to get on her radar. She gonna call me every type of racist. He's out of control. That black man need to be in jail. See, this is what I'm talking about. 1350. See, blacks are violent. Megan Rockface Kelly gonna make 10 lies about me. She gonna be like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Black culture. She gonna be like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Black culture. This is wrong with black culture. This black man over there represent black people at such a high level. He got such an intelligent audience over there. A bunch of black excellence. See, the trolls can't last over here because it's too much excellence over here. It's not degeneracy. It's not ghetto. It's not just, no, it's real productive black people over here. That's what it is. And it's hard because every time the trolls come over here, I see y'all cook them. My chat cook y'all trolls when y'all come over here. That's why y'all can only come in here and say 1 or 2 words and y'all get up out of here. Cause it's too much. They're not even gonna let y'all survive. I be trying to let y'all sit in here. The chat be one that be cooking y'all ass and running y'all up out of here. I let y'all troll, get your shit off. Black fatigue, Carmelo guilty, black people. Yeah, I let y'all get that off. I don't care because I know you love me. I know you love us. You love us. You see the family in the chat, and then you like, damn, all these, I love it here. All these black people, these beautiful black, I love it here. Bro, you can be over here with us. You don't have to troll. You know that, right? I know you obsessed with us. I get it. But yeah, when I get on their radar, they are, I'm gonna be like an attack dog on them. They gonna be calling me a bully, all that. They gonna be like, oh, you a bully. Mr. Potato Head gonna be like, see, this is why the black man. Mr. Potato Head, I can't wait. Boy, Mr. Potato Head. And don't ask me for no debate. You want to debate me? I'm going to give you an interest fee. I'm going to grace you with 10 minutes of my presence. And me and the family going to laugh at you. I'm not even going to say nothing during the debate. I'm going to let you get it off. I'm just going to let you talk. And I'm going to let you say black culture is trash. Black men, black women, 1350, Chicago, Memphis. Boom, boom, boom. And we just going to sit back and laugh at you. And then I'm going to bring up 2976. What's that, bro? 29% of the populations commit 70% of hurting children. Per capita, bro. What about per capita? Per capita do not save the fact that y'all are hurting your children. Okay? You can per capita that shit up your ass. Per capita is not going to save you, okay? You can split it up. You can cut it and slice it. It's still 29% of the demographic committing 75% of the hurting the children. It's not going to change the fact. But per capita, bro. You have to say per capita. These people think per capita is like a shield from their degeneracy. Hey, most of white people is on government assistance and food stamps. Black women are the queens of, black people are the queens of EBT. No, y'all are the representative of food stamps and Section 8 government assistance. Y'all are 26% of that. But per capita, bro, every 100,000, bro. I got to start clipping some of my lies and make them into shorts. You got to gain a lot. Okay, I got you. I'm going to do that. 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 That's a good idea. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. I enjoyed you guys on this evening. I love you guys so much. Be productive. Stay black. And we going to keep making these haters mad. Do y'all know we making them mad? They watching. They mad. They just... Right. And the Jews... Hold on. Before... See, I be trying to get out of... See, I got to stop looking at the chat before I get up out of here. Then when I see y'all in the chat, it makes me want to stay longer. What about the Jews, dude? No, it's the Jews. The Jews are white. No, they're not. Dude, it's the Jews. Sir, the Jews are white people. Okay? See, the Jews is the elite class of white people. That's why y'all mad. See, the Jews is spanking y'all ass. The Jews is doing better than you. Okay? That's why y'all hating on the Jews. Y'all want to blame everything on the Jews because you are a loser. You're a loser. No, bro. See, I'm trying to tell you the reason why I'm on this meth, dude, is because of the Jews, dude. Okay, because black people is suffering from white supremacists and injustice, just like this Proctor police officer that we just went over in this live stream. It's not the white man's fault, dude. It's not the white man's fault. Okay, so the white man can say he want to target black people, and we continue to see this, right? We can continue to see the injustice from white men in this system. We can't blame white supremacists, but you being a methed out cokehead and you a loser and your women don't want to fuck you. It's the little hat people. It's the Jews, dude. Okay, it's the Jews, dude. It's the Jews. You got it, brother. It's the Jews. But it's not the white man's fault for the reason why you not making it. Anybody can do anything in this country, dude. Black people can do whatever they want to do, dude. There's no such thing as white supremacists, dude. Stop blaming the white man. I'm not blaming you, sir. You a loser. You have nothing. You live in a trailer park. You indulge in incest. You looking for your next fix. I'm not talking. We talking about the system. You are not the system. You a low IQ Neanderthal. You a victim. That's why y'all out there marching in Washington. I'm not talking about you, dude. You are nobody even thinking about y'all. Chicago, dude. What about Chicago? One of the richest cities in the world. Most of the successful black people move to Chicago. It's only a small demographic of degeneracy that's going on in Chicago. No, dude. Per capita. Per capita, sir, does not negate the fact of raw numbers. It doesn't trump raw numbers. I know y'all feel like saying per capita does not trump raw numbers. Black people they commit most of the violent crimes. No, white people commit more of the violent crimes because you are the majority of people in this country. But per capita, dude. Per capita, dude. Shout out to Quan for the $2 super chat. Kundis Owens tried to separate whites from Jews. They can try that all day long, Quan. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. All of the white degenerates try to separate themselves from the Jews because they really jealous of them people. They jealous of them because they the elite class of whites. They the bottom tier whites, the dusty trailer trash piece of shit whites. That's why you see them out there marching. Shout out to Tyrese for becoming a channel member. Thank Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family. I am glad that you joined the family. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are the real MVP. Thank you. Thank you. Are we cooked? Like, the family is building strong over here. They gonna be. I'm already picturing how this is about to go, right? As we continue to grow and build and unite, they gonna hate us, y'all. So fuck what? So I want to make the motherfuckers mad. That's what I'm saying. This fatigue that y'all had, keep the fatigue. Like, keep the fatigue. We just about to turn a notch on the fatigue. You fatigue, we gonna turn it to exhaustion. Well, we gonna turn the notch. Are you mad? You mad at black people? Watch this. Black excellence. We winning. We getting better. We running up the numbers. We averaging 40. Y'all want to talk about rap culture? Y'all trying to put all this shit on us? This is not us. We okay. But we know that black excellence makes y'all mad. That's why Jake Long took his pussy ass out there to the BET Awards and trying to talk about black parenthood to millionaires. Jake Lang, sir. I'm not going to forget. I got you. I'm not going to forget. I'm going to get to it. I got you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I got you. The Jews, dude. You can't negate the fact that it's the Jews, dude. I don't give a fuck what you saying, dude. It's the I'm a loser because of the Jews. No, you're a loser because you're ugly. You're fat. You stink. You need to take a bath, clean your apartment up, vacuum your floor, make your bed, and you will be okay. Maybe somebody will take a chance at you. Go get you a job. Go get you a skill. Get you some money. Stop blaming the Jewish people. They winning. They run everything. They in control of everything. Stop blaming them. Just trying to attack them. That's not going to save you from being a piece of shit. Neanderthal. You stink. What do the Jews have to do with you washing your ass? Huh? So the Jews is the reason why you won't get your funk ass in the shower? You stink. The Jews, dude. I'm telling you, dude. I can't do shit. Okay. White supremacists is the reason why black people is not getting justice in the justice system. And you seen how they railroaded Carmelo Anthony. That case was fair, dude. He was a murderer. He had no business bringing a knife to a track meet, dude. He was looking for trouble. Okay, and the reason why you where you at because you ugly and you stink. Okay, cool. We can't talk about white supremacists. You can't talk about the Jews. Take a bath. Whoop-de-doo. We don't care. Per capita, dude. Y'all commit more of the violent crimes, the rapes, the robbers, the overdose, the domestic violence, the DUIs unaliving. 1350, dude. I'm telling you, dude. 1350, dude. Y'all commit 50% of the murders. You know we account for 54% of exonerations, right? It doesn't matter, dude. You people are violent. Has a black person ever done anything to you? No, dude, but still, I see the black person still out of family doc. Yeah, the people that's in the chat, Luna are channel members. Yep. Bro, these dudes out of their mind, bro. They bro, seeing them dudes march down Washington, bro, acting like they so in danger or something, bro, like they losing the country. Like, dude, you are a white man. You have the complexion for the protection. How the hell you crying about something? You had a head start. Get to work, boy. What the fuck? I'm telling you, dude, the Jews, dude. The Jews, man, I can't get ahead, dude. My wife won't give me no pussy, dude. I'm gone. All right, salute to the family. Salute to the